All right, so we had some technical difficulties.
The devil is busy, people.
Mm-hmm.
The devil is busy, but it's all good. We back, man. We back. DFW Shed Sessions, everybody. We got the big homie, the OG Gino, in the building. We were when we left the live, we were on the back end of talking about his health. We all know that he had went through a bit of a health scare, and so he was explaining what that was, and now we're on the back end of that. So now with everything that you got going on, you are good, but you have a surgery coming up.
Yeah. Got one that will be scheduled here very soon,
Mm-hmm.
and just looking for God to do what He does and bring me out of that.
Right.
I was mentioning how with the importance of health,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what your health position is, getting the help that you need, you know what I'm saying, not sitting on your hands, but going to get seen. If you don't have insurance, acquire it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
If you can't acquire it, still go to the doctor and get seen. They will take care of you, man. You can't make any money if you're not here.
Right.
You can't leave an imprint if you're not here. So, but the whole, like I said, the end of 23 to now has been my health. It hasn't been work induced. I've really done nothing but focus on my health and getting out of this. I said it today for the first time. Whatever this new normal is for me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to moving out of it to get to what my real normalcy will be.
Right.
But as of right now, it's like if I accepted a date,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't know how long I'm gonna be down with this surgery. Possibly 6 weeks or more.
Mm-hmm.
So can't take the date.
Right.
If I go and play, well, I'm got an active pick line in my arm.
Right.
So how extenuous can I really
Right.
play? It's so many different variables.
Right.
So it's like, well, God forced me into a situation where I had to do what He had been trying to get me to do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down and listen.
Yeah.
So that's where I am now.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Well, it's good to see that you're on the back end of everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We definitely hope that everything pulled through. And you a very strong cat, man. So we know that you'll be all right. And then you got a beautiful wife with you that seems to be very, very supportive of you.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So I think everything will be everything will be all right on.
Absolutely.
I trust
you know what I'm
everything is a little better because y'all said, there we go. I appreciate y'all.
It's all good.
Yeah. Mike Pugh, what up? Q
Mike,
Philly.
Q Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got some of the homies in the building. Y'all come on back in the room. It's the water's fine.
Yeah, come on back in.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Now,
it's 8 viewers
yeah.
On Facebook.
on Facebook, but
You can't see it on Facebook.
y'all make sure that everyone that's viewing, send it out to
Share.
your friends, send it
Yeah.
out to your colleagues,
The homies.
Yeah.
There's a couple of y'all that I'm really looking for specifically, so come on in.
Yeah, come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. Like I said, the water's fine. Kingston Livingston, what's good, homie? What's good, homie? All right.
Yeah. My man.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you this, and the only reason we're gonna move forward, and the only reason I'm gonna ask you this because it was public information.
Yeah.
It was public information. During this time, you guys found out that you guys were pregnant.
This was
Like a little bit after.
yeah.
Y'all found out that y'all were pregnant, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, y'all
had a miscarriage.
It didn't pull through.
Yeah.
Somebody who has experienced that before, I know that could be like a super tough time, especially on top of what you're dealing with inside of all of that already. Was that something hard to pull through, or even as of now pulling through?
Honestly, man, it was awful
Mm-hmm.
because my wife needed a level of support that she missed out on.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
not just from me, but like everything and everyone around me.
Right.
And she deserved that,
Yeah.
and she didn't receive that. And those are moments that I can never take back,
Right.
because my wife was in need of certain things, in need of certain support that was non-existent.
And you guys didn't even know, right?
Really, at the point that I was maybe a day or two before, I went into the hospital, because I had been in. I went to the hospital end of November, because I had a super bad upper respiratory infection, and again, one of the moments not listening to my wife, I ain't have a hat on my head in the rain.
Yeah. Right.
And I got super sick.
Shoot, that's mama at age 8.
Yeah, I got super sick, and so I was on bed rest for like a full week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and I started feeling these pains. Went to the doctor, to the hospital, found out they gave me this medicine for an upper respiratory infection, and it in turn, it worsens my colon problem.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's what kicked it off to where, oh man, I'm in distress.
Yeah.
And right around that time is when we found out. And 2 days later, they admitted me to the hospital.
Wow.
So she's trying to figure out, okay, well, like, I need to be there with my husband. Okay, our 2 boys at home need help. Our youngest daughter was expecting, you know what I'm saying? Like, in this whole interim, I became a grandfather again twice.
Oh, wow.
But our youngest daughter is like any day now going to have a baby. It's a lot of moving parts. Here I am. And again, that level of support, man, it was hard to sift through that moment. And it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
The reason I
Chris
said hard-headed. The reason I asked, man, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people really don't understand a lot of what musicians and artists are dealing with while we're on stage entertaining. You know what I'm saying? We don't get to, some of us are able to maneuver through that and actually use the stuff that we go through, use that in the entertainment. But a lot of people really don't always know what we got going on inside our head and inside our households while we're on that stage. And I think it's important for the people that's sitting in the crowd to know that, sometimes ease up on these people. Sometimes ease up on these artists. You really never understand what it is that they going through and what they got going on. And in a situation like that, you got like 30 different things going on at one time.
Oh man!
And then with all of that going on, okay, 29, sure. And with all of that going,
say, oh man.
with all of that going on, as a man having a feeling of being helpless.
Oh, it's
like you literally can't do nothing about none of this stuff that's going on in your camp.
Now you add to that at the same time, I lose my job.
Great segue.
At the same time.
Yeah.
And I lose a job that I was walking away from.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I lose the job because I chose to walk away from it.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that.
Well, we here. You know what I'm saying? Q Philly, you are absolutely right.
Get my tea real quick.
All right, a lot of people don't care. Hey man, listen. First of all, everybody that's watching, appreciate y'all for joining live. We got Polo the Vibe, we in the building. Chris Brennan, Q Philly in the building. JB Smacking is in the building. Snap, we got Darius Johnson. That's dangerous.
It is a party.
We got the homies in the building. Have you found who you was looking for yet, Gino?
Man, I
Not
wouldn't,
yet.
I wouldn't divulge it like that.
You know what I'm saying? I got you. But now, man, look, this is an interactive discussion that we having. We got the OG in the building. This is interactive. So y'all, Brandon Price is in the building. Hey, man, before y'all start, give Uncle a hanky so he can damn that. You know what I'm saying?
Bless her, Doc.
Oh,
I need to be covered.
Charles Holloway in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got some of the homies in the building. But yeah, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, DFW Shed Sessions. We just sitting up in here chopping it up, man, learning some life lessons about this good old entertainment thing that we doing.
Yeah.
All right, man. So man, we here. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna let you steer the conversation. What did you want to talk about? What was on your mind?
So, quiero que. That's my man, Breeze. Again, man, and my wife asked me this. She was like, what is it that you really want to achieve tonight? And
That's a good
it's
question.
one thing, peace. Peace for me is me being able to share my experience and say that I actually had my say and
Right.
walk away from it. There's been a lot of discussion, a lot. I'm talking about like in real time. You're
Right.
still discussing it
Yeah.
about my tenure at the Freeman and now me not being there. Now, people can say what they want about the Freeman and how it is a place of unimportance. That is not true at all.
I
That
think
is
that's
so
true.
far
Yeah.
from the truth.
I think it's-
The Freeman is a beacon of light for the arts community.
Absolutely.
Now, how it's ran dictates how bright that light shines. But it has always been, and it will forever be that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's at the helm. The Freeman is going to be the Freeman.
Yeah.
And if you want to make a mark, try to set your way, you got to pass through those doors.
Absolutely.
And so it has a place of importance. It is a place of importance. And I wanted to ensure that, again, I can say, all right, I spoke to this or I spoke to that, and then I can finally just
Let it go.
let it go. You know what I'm saying? I've let go. My heart is
Yeah.
clear. You know, I don't have any ill will towards the business, individuals. I don't have to like someone to, not wish something well.
Right.
But because that place means a lot to so many people. But yeah, just for me to, again, be at peace because I got a chance to have my say because I was robbed of my chance to have my say.
Right. So let's start from the beginning. You what year was it you became the general manager, right?
Yeah, it would have been 3 years, January 18th of this year.
Okay. So so 3 years ago you became the general manager of the Freeman.
Yeah.
So starting off, and for those of y'all that don't know, for those of y'all that watching, like you was saying, the Freeman is actually a staple in the Dallas music scene.
Absolutely.
Your who's who has been there. It has really, it's been training ground for a lot of musicians, including myself. It's like you said, anybody who's anybody. If you're in this Dallas scene, you have had to pass through those doors at the Freeman. There's some of us that passed through those doors years ago when it was only one side. You know what I'm saying? When it was only one side, and now we're here, and it's like, the Freeman has just grown and grown and grown and become this, this thing. So you took over the general manager position, 3 years ago, and what first of all, what made you take that position in the first place? Because before that you was at Louis, right?
I was at Louis,
Yeah.
and I facilitated Louis Sunday night. Took over the helm from what you
Right.
and Sauce had created at that time.
Yeah.
and built it into something different. But I was able to build myself into the structure of Louie Louie's business as a whole.
Right.
And there were talks of, opening up another venue and me actually running it. Stone Deck Pizza, that's the name of the place we
Stone
were,
Deck.
we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
thinking about last time.
Yeah. Stone Deck.
That's now Cheapsteaks.
Cheapsteaks, right.
Yeah. But before it was Cheapsteaks and it was Stone Deck, well, Louie Louie's had actually acquired it. And the plan was to build LockJohnson's Playground right next door to Louie Louie's.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's how embedded I was into the structure of the Louie Louie's family.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I didn't know
And COVID hits, and we come back from COVID, and Louie Louie's decides not to pick up LockJohnson's Playground because no one knows how we're going to come out of this COVID situation. However, the Boarded Up Music Group is developed, which is just a nickname for LockJohnson's Playground.
Right. Okay.
This is the same
Okay.
format,
Yeah.
right? They offer me to be a part of the Boarded Up Music Board.
Okay.
Tell me what the stipend is and all of these things. I even go in and do a taping as a host
Yeah.
that never airs, but my entire concept does and flourishes, and now they're opening up the next place in Colorado. Congratulations to y'all. You're welcome.
Wow.
That's wild.
I'm not doing it anymore to
Yeah.
where no
crazy.
man, my work is my work and
Yeah.
it stands for itself.
Yeah.
And I've given up a lot by being quiet. Everyone has always considered me to be the brash or the in your face or the reactionary guy. No, I'm not reactionary. I just don't have to put up with what you want to give me.
Absolutely.
That doesn't make me reactionary. It makes me a good businessman by standing up for what I believe and what's mine.
Right.
And in a lot of instances, I did not stand up. I just moved on to the next, right? Build up a venue, and then I decided to part ways, and then the venue starts to decline. 1011 Grill was perfect example of that. As soon as I pulled Ivory Jean out, the business closed in a matter of months, and it's been 12 different things since.
That's my testimony.
Exactly.
And so while I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you go. While a lot of people may not understand your position when it comes to a lot of things, I'm one of the people that do. Simply like the same thing you did at Louie Louie is the same thing you were doing at the Freeman. I was doing at this spot called Loose and Low, which is right down the street.
Yeah.
And again, we build it up, got it to a point, and then what happens with a lot of these venues, and I you going through what I went through with them. What happens with a lot of these venues is you build them up and then they start to look at you as expendable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They start to look like me and my partners, like even when they went through that thing, when they went through that situation with the bartender or whatever, I was standing there on the front line for that venue.
Oh yeah.
All for them to
I was
sit
next
there.
to you.
Exactly.
Me, you and Gummy.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm going at it. I'm going at it with a dude that me and him went to high school together, graduated the same year. He's an activist now.
Yeah.
We grew up together. He's an activist now, and me and him are going back and forth. Me and him are butting heads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Jason said it all boils down to racism.
we can talk about that, but even more so of that, Jason. My point of what I'm getting at is, I would like us to get to a point to where we stop building up other people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we take all of our talents and we give this to other people. We give it to other people, and then we get comfortable. We start considering these places home, and then very quickly they let us know that this is not your house. You just visit.
It's very much that. And now, on the front end of all of that, let me preface and say that if you establish your place within that business relationship correctly, meaning paperwork, black and white. It is very clear by all parties involved what your place is in there, what their place is with you, then you can avoid these type of pitfalls. Accountability is something that I work on daily with my spouse, right? In business, you got to do that times 10.
Absolutely.
It all boils down to what did you get on paper?
Yeah.
What kind of contract did you sign? That way you can have something to back you up in positions like this.
They want to shake your hand quick.
They want to shake your hand fast.
Right.
Now, mind you, emails also serve as legally binding documents.
Text messages too.
They do. So you got to have those things in place. And so you can pursue certain things. How deep are your pockets will help determine how much you can fight at the end of the day if you have a situation kind of with what I've faced.
Yeah.
So the initial question was, what brought me there? So that's what happened. COVID happened. Louis decided to not pick up the show and made some promises, guarantees. We went into a little venture, started to, and then it switched, and then I was left out in the cold. Well, I'm trying to figure out during COVID, man, like everybody else, what in the world am I going to do? Because the entire entertainment industry was really forgotten during COVID.
Absolutely.
There wasn't any provision right that was made for that. Everyone was trying to attract the same audience at the same time in the same space, online. People started doing one-man shows at their living room.
Absolutely.
And then, then I...
With their cash out,
Yeah, I took the playground to, to a studio and started doing it that way. And then that trend picked up. People were going to studios. But there was one venue, literally one venue, not just here in Dallas, but in the majority of cities across the country that was open, and that was the Freeman. Everybody was closed.
Yeah.
To the point that artists were flying into Dallas to go to the Freeman because it was the only place open. It fell under a rule called the 5150 rule, where your establishment had to be 51% restaurant, 50% bar in order to stay open during that time with the social distancing guidelines. And the Freeman in Deep Ellum was the freaking only venue that met it.
Right.
Like literally, it was the Freeman and 7-Eleven that were open.
Yeah.
That was it for over a year.
Yeah.
Gold mine for the Freeman.
So did you approach them or they approach you?
They approached me.
Okay.
I was booking dates with the booking agents at that time. It was Shelly Carroll and his wife Verd.
Okay.
And they were handling the booking. And the GM at that time, they actually went through two. There was this cat named Novak, and then there was Tiffany Vollmer, who was the last GM before me.
Okay.
And me and Tiffany had struck up, a decent working relationship because what I did is I went on the Freeman calendar. I saw how many dates were open, and I was like, I hit up Shelly. I was like, yo, I want these dates. And I just booked as many dates as he let me book. And it put me in like a really solid rotation at the Freeman. Started Uncle and Nephew. Shout out to some of those.
Yeah.
You know
I remember Uncle and
Darius,
Nephew.
Polo. It was a great time. Ben, you know what I'm saying? So then I put on the Bosses show. And Tiffany, she's actually the voice of a famous anime character.
Okay.
And she went back to voice work. And as we were talking one evening while I was there doing the show, she mentioned she was getting ready to leave, and she was like, hey, I don't know what they're going to do. We're starting to look for another GM because I'm about to go back to my regular job. And I was like, well, I actually run venues. That's something else that I do. And her eyes lit up. She was like, oh my, and she was like, tomorrow, look for a call. The next day, John Jay calls me, who is the owner of the Freeman, John J. Myers. Salute to you, good brother. And he calls and asks for.
Mike P said Bloma from Dragon Ball Z. Bloma,
Yeah,
Bluma,
yeah. Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. So I get a call from John Jay the next day asking for a face-to-face meeting. He heard I was interested in the position. Asked me to come down to the Freeman. I went down. And I mean, he was full throttle. Like,
Right.
yo, here's an offer. Yes, I've been wanting to get you over here since you were over at Louis Louis. He says, I never asked you because I thought you would say no.
Oh, wow.
He says, but I've always wanted you here.
Okay.
So here's what the job entails. Da da da. And I was like, all right, cool. I mean, you know, give me a day to think about it. He was like, cool, man. 3 o'clock, I'll hit you up, man. Give me an answer. I was like, I'm gonna need a day.
Right.
Well, he sends another offer at 3. That was better than the offer that he made at 11 a.m.
Hold on, pause. There's a lesson in that, guys. Don't be so quick. Don't be so like I don't want this to I don't want none of this conversation to come off as there's a lesson in all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen, hey, don't be so quick. Like sometimes it's cool to think about, talk it over with the people that's close to you, next to you.
Yeah.
Think about some of these offers that you're getting and really understand your worth. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
So I took that information home to my wife. We weren't married at the time, but we were working towards that. But we were still working on moving as a unit. And
hey y'all, I'm not a Dragon Ball Z peep. Hey, y'all get off of me. However you pronounce it, she did it.
She did it.
Right.
But yeah, we decided that it would be a good move.
Okay.
Especially since there was nothing going on. I'm just literally playing at the Freeman and getting royalties every quarter from work I've done years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not enough to sustain. I mean, COVID, it cleared us all out.
Beats that cats are still playing of yours.
Yeah.
That's
Still.
wild. That's wild.
Yeah. Still.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So yeah, that's how the relationship started, man. I had them sign a non-compete, agreement with me, meaning anything LockJohnson's Playground affiliated would never conflict with my work at the Freeman.
Okay.
And my duties were clear. Run front and back house. Do all staffing. Do all marketing and promotions. Book the band. Take care of security as well. That's one person.
Yeah.
For a dual-sided venue. And a building that's been there since the 40s.
Yeah.
During COVID, a pandemic.
Yeah.
And so, and I say all of that so that everyone hears how much was involved in this position. Gladly taking the job on because that's what I do.
Right.
I had an AGM, assistant general manager, that was hired as well. He was one of the staff that got promoted. And the day I start,
Michelle said way too much for one person.
oh, it gets real.
Yeah.
But
I know that sounds like that's a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I once worked the staff up to about 50, 60 people as one person.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yes, that's.
And mind you,
that's
when you came in, this is the big side and small side.
That's big side and small side.
Yeah, it's not just the small side. It's the big side.
Both sides are running 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. At that time, it wasn't 2 a.m. It was whenever they could get everyone out the building, which typically ran to about 3:30. Then cleanup would start.
Wow.
So like the rules were a little bit different during COVID.
Oh no, 2 o'clock you close.
Yeah. But it's just I got you.
The culture,
Yeah.
the culture of the Freeman at that time was just whenever we get everybody out, we can start to get ready to go home.
It sounded like somebody was trying to save money.
There was a lot. So the day I start is the day that a new point of sale system is put into place.
Mm-hmm.
POS system. So that device you pay, those registers that take your credit card information, that all that was installed the day I started
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
with no training for anyone.
Oh, that's
Okay.
rough. That was a rough week.
But I've worn many hats in my professional career.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be the assistant VP of Bank of America's Merchant Services Division.
Okay.
We sold the point of sale devices, and that was what I did.
Okay.
And so I knew the point of sale device, Toast. I knew it enough to navigate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I sold a balcony club their POS devices.
Oh, wow.
Do it like they use Clover.
Yeah. Right.
I
Right.
sold it to the balcony club.
Okay.
So, so I kind of knew. I brought all that with me.
Yeah.
I had all that in my wheelhouse, along with being a working musician,
Mm-hmm.
one who I thought was respected a different way. I learned doing the walk. It wasn't that respect really wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about from colleagues.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When you put into a position where they have to listen to you in order to get that check.
And they don't get that part. They don't understand. I got cats mad colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
The cats that I was on stage with, shared stage with, they got mad at me, and they don't talk to me to this day because I didn't hire them in high and tight, loose and low. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
And it was like, and it's like, well,
yeah.
and it's like, bro, this is what most people don't understand. When you're in a certain position, there's certain things I have to know how to separate homie versus businessman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that your band ain't dope. It's just that your band don't work for this venue.
Yeah.
And I have to know how to make those type of decisions if I'm going to keep my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those cats that have those complaints, they've never been in that position, so they don't really they
don't get it.
I remember it was one night that we played there. We played at the Freeman, and 2:00 hit. Band, thank you, good night. We packing up. Here you come out the back. All right, hey, time to go.
Yeah.
Like all of that homie shit went right out the window. I'm like, I'm like, damn, Gino, you all right? But then it was like, but then it's also like, I have to run a business.
Yeah.
I can't be homie at the moment.
I
have to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm literally working.
Outside of this bandstand, there are about 20 to 25 employees in here that want to go home and see their families.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They've been here for hours on end. You've played these couple of hours, but they've been here probably a good, some of them 10.
Yeah.
So at 2:00, yeah, man, it's time to go so that we can clean up and come back and do it all again for you tomorrow.
Because they still got stuff that they got to
still
do
got
after you leave.
Exactly.
That they can't do until you leave.
We can't sweep. There's no sweeping. Well, that was my policy. We're not sweeping the floor. We're not mopping until we get everyone who walks through that out the door. It's a whole process. Then you got to think of liabilities, insurance liabilities.
Yeah.
Somebody slips and fall while you cleaning up around them.
Yeah.
Somebody drop. There's so many things. But all of that was at the onset of the job, and it started off. I managed the Black Forest Theater, which was Erykah Badu's spot. That was the very first place that I really managed. I was running Sankofa, pseudo, and didn't really realize that's what I was doing. I was really on a management team of 10-11. Didn't even, without really realizing that's what I was doing. Navigating, how the business flowed, marketing and all that. You're contributing to the front office. But in this one, I had it full hand.
Because of what you had been through.
Because of what I had been through.
Learned,
And I went through 2 general managers. And both were solid dudes.
Not you bringing out Ruby Miller. She ain't never on Facebook. Come on, man.
Hey, Ruby. Yeah, I went through 2 general managers during my tenure. Both were solid dudes. You know, I mean, they had their quirks, they had their things, and both of them decided to move on to something different. Honestly, I stayed longer than I should have.
Okay.
At year 2, I should have walked away.
Okay.
I had a plan. My plan was I want to give the Freeman 3 years. But at year 2, I really should have walked away. God bless you. And this isn't a bashing session, folks, because I really want to get into the hearts of people. Like y'all are hearing my heart, but it's some hearts that I want to hear, because some of y'all hearts got a lot of malice in it, and you're holding on to a lot of things that only God can fix.
Well, Lord.
But you're gonna have to speak it first.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Did you implement the because before the pandemic there wasn't a pay at the there wasn't a door fee?
No, I didn't implement that. That was brought on by the duo, the booking duo before me.
Okay.
That was Verb and Shelly, and it was a beautiful idea.
Because to my knowledge, the original purpose of the door fee was to just pay the band, because you know it's COVID, we can't pay like we used to pay or whatever.
Because the finance, everything was hampered.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have a door fee now, but you didn't implement that.
No, I didn't implement it. I did, and I do support it even now. So
Read that comment.
now there were some shows.
Somebody said that man Gino said
Ain't nothing open but jaws and draws. That's right. At a certain hour of the night, it's time to go home. Ain't nothing open now but jaws and draws.
I can't say what I
and 7-Eleven. That's all that's open.
I can't say what I can't say what I used to say at Loose and
Yeah,
Low when
that
it
was
was time to.
Yeah.
If you ain't with the band or the staff, and I didn't say with.
Yeah.
Dwayne.
It was another
word.
word.
Yeah.
Dwayne Berry, shout out to Gummy Bear. He said, "How much of the door actually comes to the band?"
Well, I don't know what any of their policies are now, but I'll speak to what I know from my tenure. As I do that, there were some shows I did before I came on to be an employee of the Freeman, where I actually had a door charge for my shows. I brought Snarky Puppy, the after party there.
So that was more like a partnership.
That was a partnership
as opposed to
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
When
learn that musicians.
When Deonis had Jill Scott and working with 10 Child Inc. and Faith Anderson, there was a door charge for that. That was prior to the regular door charge. This door charge started at $5 at the onset of COVID, and then it gravitated towards 10. Yeah. 90% of the door is to go to the artist. This was during my tenure. 90% of the door goes to the artist. 10% goes to the house.
This is as a manager.
As a manager. Right. That 10% facilitates staff, like the things that help make the venue run.
Right.
Security, engineers, sound, light. You got to have them. There was armed guards that were brought in. Like all that 10% helps facilitate that as well, so that the rest of the venue can be facilitated with that income. Because you talking about, again, 7 nights a week.
So how was that split between the two sides?
We do manual count. Well, again, I'm only gonna speak from what I
and I'm only talking about when you was there. Whatever they do now, that they ain't got nothing to do with nobody here.
During that time, that's why those count. You would see me walking around counting heads.
I remember, yeah.
Right,
I remember that.
and this particular POS system, it allows you to mark exactly which side people go in.
Okay.
So it was very important for artists to let their people know what side they're playing on. and voice that at the door, because most people will just walk into Bourbon because it's the big side.
Yeah.
And that's where you see everything going on. But the band you really want to see, or you
Is
can't,
on the small
is
side.
on the small
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
So if you get marked going into Bourbon because you didn't voice that, well, how does that other band that you really came to see
Yeah.
get that revenue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the manual counts came in. Every hour on the hour, starting at 6 o'clock. I will go and do a count order. Security, my door guys will go and do a count of every wristband on that particular side.
Okay.
And that's how that breakdown, you compare that with what the system has tallied, and you're able to get a close enough to accurate number of how many people were there for that show.
Yeah.
But this is also where, again, accountability for your business comes in, because if you don't have someone in your band, someone loved your band, that's not their counting heads for your show. I could tell you 5 people walked in and it's a full room. How you gonna dispute me?
You can't.
You didn't take ownership of your business. Now, luckily, and
Shout out to Chris for the stars.
you were all blessed
Gary.
And Gary.
because I ain't rip you off. I didn't do you like that. And I wouldn't let anybody on the staff do you like that. Which is why the inkling that I would steal from my fellow musicians is the biggest slap in the face.
Do you feel like you were made because at one point in time, we'll speak on it since we're here. At one point in time, you know, everybody who's in the know, like the face of who owns the Freeman. I mean, we would even see that same face on stage, you know, once a week, right? But then it got to a point, you know, when you came in, you became the face. Once you became the face, do you feel like you kind of became the punching bag?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wifey answered, she said yes.
I firmly believe that my likability was ultimately my downfall,
Okay.
because people actually thought I owned the Freeman.
I can see that.
There are plenty of times people ask, is this a black-owned establishment? I can guarantee nobody ever told them no. Because why would you tell your money makers no? It's black ran,
Absolutely.
but it's not black owned. So it would stand to reason you would withhold that for the benefit of that. What you don't like,
Yeah.
you'll hold on to it because it's making you money.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But again, when it comes to where the mindset of musicians and the public, and you know, concerning like where it's happening now, like I am, if you're not aware, let me look in here so you can
That's
see.
the camera right there.
I am not an employee of the Freeman. So you don't have to worry about me. Which means you don't have to even speak my name. So stop. Like seriously, enough is enough. You know, I've never taken $1 from anyone that didn't belong to me. I took it because they gave it to me. Not because I stole. I've never stolen from any of my colleagues, anyone in particular, ever. So it's a slap in the face, man. You know, there was an issue when I came on that was happening before I became the GM. And there were a number of door personnel that were employed that were skimming money off the top once the door charge came into play.
Oh, wow.
And when I first took the gig, it was like a four-man team. And I grew it to seven to 8, because we needed that much coverage. Like business was popping. You know, it was before Deep Ellum really became shoot 'em up.
Gotham City.
Man, Freeman was jumping, especially since it was the only place jumping.
Can we speak on some positive real quick?
Yeah.
Shout out to first of all, shout out to Gary. Gary says, shout out to Unc for writing my bio. All I've seen him do is bless folks.
Yeah, man.
And then you got Mike
Right
Pugh.
on.
He said, shout out to Gino LockJohnson, giving Pew Funk their first show in D-Town, My Dog for Life, from the playground to the Freeman.
I appreciate it.
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
It's all love.
So we definitely appreciate the positive. Again, we are open to any and all question, comments,
Any and
and
all.
concerns. Real quick before we continue, we got to shout out to the stars. Gary with the stars. Shout out to Chris with the stars. Darius, shout out for your stars. Gary, Gary just blessing us tonight with the stars. We appreciate it,
He
man.
said, let's start a
on.
star party.
Yeah, start a star party. But yeah, man.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful
We-
night. Give yourself.
You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to shout out the positive too. You know what I'm saying?
Christina said, shout out to Gino for putting Chrissy Winston on the map.
Absolutely. That's family.
Man, listen. I give my
Yeah.
flowers later. But yeah,
Let me get
Tim, shout out to Tim Sterling.
Everybody
Tim,
get their
shout out to G,
Yep.
my manager, for the
Timothy.
reason why people know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Polo the Vibe, shout out to the Found and Thursdays. PTSD was one of the craziest nights ever.
Man, yeah, I had so many plans for that freaking show.
Yeah.
Man, PTSD was nuts.
Ruby Miller,
Yeah.
I'll always be grateful to the Freeman has done for me.
Not the
Chris
Freeman,
Carr,
Gino, thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Becca said, not the Freeman Gino. Thank you.
Chris Carr,
Thank you.
much love, kinfolk.
Honey.
You know what I'm saying? Jeff Jones, hey Gino, I got a free ticket for you for the album release in Adult Prom. I haven't forgot about you. Gave me an
Darius
opportunity
says
too.
the Freeman
Oh,
is
my
the
man.
reason for his youngest child.
Okay. All right. Thank all the positive affirmation. I love y'all. Thank you.
Amen.
But I don't want to lose my place.
Right.
Let me, because this is a cleansing session.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I do want some people to chime in that, man, you need to get some stuff right, and I'm praying that God pricks your heart, so we can get it right.
Yeah, man. I really want to ask specifically who you talking about. I really.
Give Mike, I tell you. Becca said
So, as I
on
was
the
saying about the door staff woes, because the notion and the word put out that I took money from the free man that didn't belong to me is a bold-faced lie, and I'm not going to let it live another day. So, again, there was like a 4-man team when I took the job as GM. Head of that team, his name was Tom, ex-military guy, and man, I was just. I'm a guy. I'm oblivious to everything until the point of. And so, John Jay, man, was like the cover started coming off for the door situation. Okay. Like it started to become noticeable what they were doing. But I'm giving the guys the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, there's no way these guys would steal from me.
Right.
Like, hey, man, I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would you steal from? There's no. And I mean, I'm going to bat for these dudes, and he is screaming bloody murder because he's looking at the numbers. But I'm trying to build his confidence in me and my ability to handle all situations and all things, because that's why you have me here. So I'm like, man, trust me, I'm on it. These guys, I promise you, man, these guys aren't stealing. There's got to be something else going on. We just got this new POS system. So, you know, everybody's still trying to learn it, you know. And I actually hired one of my family members to be a part of the door team as well.
Okay.
All right, so I'm like, of course, ain't nobody stealing because this person gonna tell me for sure. That's my family.
Yeah.
Like blood.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
one particular Sunday night, which happens to be, that's big. RC's big ticket night.
Yeah.
And a considerable amount of money comes missing from that night. Now, at that point, I'm not collecting the door money at the end of the night and turning it in, because that's not how I was trained to do it from the previous GM. She allowed the door staff to control all of that.
Okay.
Right? So every wristband really that's $10 a pop.
Yeah.
Right? So we buy them in bulk. They were buying them in bulk. But if nobody's policing how many are going out, you can sell them on the side. You can give some away.
Right.
You could pocket some. Like you can run any scam you want if you don't have checks and balances. And they didn't have one because I didn't know that they had to have one. That's how I wasn't trained for that. I literally wrote the GM model. Every rule that was put in place while I was there, I wrote it.
You wrote it, okay.
Because there was nothing. It was just be there and make sure that people eat and drink and the band starts as close to on time as possible. That was it.
Yeah.
Make sure the place stayed considerably clean. That's not how a venue of that magnitude should be ran.
Right.
So here I come with order and it disrupts everything because everybody there is so used to disorder.
Yeah.
So
You have a question. You
Yeah.
have a question. It said, can the POS system print out door sales?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like real time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, real time. You can request that. Yeah. If you are a musician, artist who's playing at the Freeman, and you want to know how many people came through this door, you can ask the GM at the end of every night. They are obligated to tell you.
Obligated.
But with the preference and what you spoke on earlier, make sure your business is right.
Make sure your business is right. Make sure
Make sure you have somebody counting.
Make sure you and that's what happened on that fateful Sunday. RC had somebody sitting at the door simply counting heads. A young lady with a pencil and piece of paper is what crumbled their whole operation. Because there was no way RC should have got that amount that he got. It was so far under what he should have got. There's no way he should have gotten that number with how many people paying customers, she actually just marked down with a pencil.
Wow.
So it unraveled all of that. And so I wound up having to fire the entire door staff, including my family member.
Including your family member. Wow.
Broke my heart. That relationship is damaged to this day.
Because of that.
They had to do a full investigation of any and everyone who passed by the door, handled anything concerning the door because of the amount, and to try to find out who were the bad apples so we could get rid of them. And to this day, John Jay still thinks that I was a part of that. No matter what the evidence shows, he still, and every time he would try to hold that over my head, I would hang up in his face.
That's wild.
I mean, we've gotten into some real serious, like, knockdown, drag-outs, like, I'm finna whoop your ass type conversations. Yeah, like, seriously, like, I'm not a thief.
But because
my family member, it's like, that's your
whole family.
That's your family member. How do you not know?
Yeah.
Well, when the Freeman was just on the small side only, John Jay's best friend, his name was Tim, black guy, bald head, strikingly handsome young man, bodybuilder.
Yeah. Chris. Now, y'all know exactly what you're talking about. Chris.
They worked side by side.
And
Chris took about 10 grand.
20.
From the same register.
I know that story. Yeah.
From the same register that you're standing side by side. How you don't know? And I'm managing two sides at one time as one person. How you don't know? I can't hold that over your head.
Yeah.
Just like I can't hold over my family member's head their lapse in judgment.
And Chris was there for a minute too.
He was there for a long time.
Yeah.
So because you had that PTSD moment in your life, I got to have a bit of grace, but I don't have to allow your trauma to be what haunts me.
Yeah.
And so I worked and established, nah, man, we got new crew in there, and we stayed on top of our game. Oddly enough, one of those doormen that was guilty, he became my whistleblower.
Okay.
And that's what helped solidify that whole ring. Like, that's how we found out for sure, this happened. I called him up, and as soon as I called, I'm so sorry. I knew, because I knew his heart was so tender. I knew he had a heart for right.
Yeah.
And he knew the jig was up. And we allowed him to stay.
Really?
He had to pay back restitution,
Really?
what he had taken,
Okay.
to the point where he was, like, we believed in him so much, we cut $500 off of what he owed.
Wow.
Simply because you were the one who came and, and fessed up. And then even he became one of these disrespectful bastards. Even after all of that.
All after you cut him some slack.
All after cutting him some slack. Even after that. So it baffles me how, like, why my reputation and all the hard work, like, man, you can never tarnish that. Let me look in this camera again for all of y'all. You can never tarnish what God did. I didn't do none of anything that I've ever achieved. That was all God. So be careful what you speak on, because you're speaking on him. You're not so much speaking on me. Know that.
Talk about it, man. So let's. That's a good segue. Let's talk about this, man, because it got to a point. Evil is good. So let's talk about this. It got to a point you ruffled a lot of feathers because even as far as the homies are concerned, there was a couple people you had to say, yo, you can't come here no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's.
My bad, Jared. He said wrong camera. No, it was my fault.
Oh, okay. Oh, the camera was on. Oh, I got you. I got you.
Everybody
I got
Gino.
you. This is a new POS
He
system.
said what he said.
This is a new POS system, Polo. So just bear with us. But So okay. So it got to a point to where again, everybody knows you. But because before you were the GM, you were the homie.
Yeah.
But now you're in this. Now you're in this position to where you have to make, tough decisions, and you're in a position to where okay, some people can't be here no more.
Yeah.
All for the better of the business.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of flack for that.
Yeah.
So speak on that for a second.
Anytime that someone was ever asked to leave the venue for whatever reason, it was always well justified. There's nothing more important than the vibe that's residing in the building. People come out to have a good time. They don't come out to take on whatever woes you have and have tried to overshadow the good time they're trying to have. So if you're having a bad moment, hey, tonight's just not your night. Man, that was my go-to slogan. Hey, come back, try it again tomorrow. Tonight's not the night. Come back and see us tomorrow. Let's do it again. We'll be here. We're open 7 days a week. Let's try it again tomorrow, right? Like with love, with empathy. Sometimes, man, it just wasn't enough. Most times, it just wasn't enough because people think you're trying to be funny and no, man. Like legitimately, I'm going to be here tomorrow. The building will be here. Same food that we served tonight. Gonna serve it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right.
Come back and see us tomorrow. The night is over. That wouldn't be enough for some people. So then we have to say, all right, well, it's time for you to go home. Now, any instance of someone being asked to leave the front office knew.
I was gonna ask you that. So everybody that was, for the most part, banned. That wasn't a decision that was never a decision that you made on your own.
No. It had. If we banned someone, for sure. Yeah. It had to get signed off on. It wasn't. I had to say, now we banned this person, or it was actually told to me, don't let this person in anymore. It was one of the two. Now, if there was an altercation, whether it be verbal or physical, that was involved, you have to notify TABC. that there was an altercation or you'll lose your license.
Okay.
So anyone that ever had an altercation at the Freeman and you got put out, it's a public record. That's not me being on a high horse. That's what legally we were supposed to do. And the front office knew you by name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had some side words for one of the waitresses or bartenders and you were asked to leave, doing my end report for the day, I let front office know. There's really two people.
Yeah.
Hey, tonight we had to put out a young lady. This is what she had on. On the camera, you can see at mark 2625 where we had to escort her out. Here's why. I had to give a whole account for that every time, and not one time was missed. There were some times where I got back, okay, well, we're not going to ban them, you know, but just kind of keep watching on. They probably won't come back tomorrow. Probably be a week before we see them. But when they come back, we'll just watch them. If they give us any problems, then, you know, go ahead and tell them, no, we don't want them to come back.
Jay Carlos
So
in
you
the
still
building.
had
Shout out.
grace.
Still had grace.
Still had grace.
Sometimes it came back, I don't ever want this person in my place again. I don't want them at cheap steaks. Sometimes it came back with that. Or sometimes it was, I really love the girl or guy. I really like them. But yeah, we just can't have them in here.
But the notion that, oh yeah, that was all Gino
No.
is false.
No, no more than me being able to pay you more than what the asking price is.
I got you.
I didn't control all of that. I have someone I answer to too.
And they got to sign off. And they got to sign off on everything.
They got to sign off on everything. It wasn't just me flying by the seat of my pants. So, in particular.
I said they definitely tried to put it out on you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's people, man, that wish with my health issue at the end of the year, there are cats that literally said, I hope he die.
That's wild.
Whoa.
Damn.
That's wild.
Which is why I went off on Facebook.
Yeah.
That is dark.
It's cats that said,
That's cold.
I hope he die. And I'm talking about people that call me Unc on the regular. I'm talking to you.
Wait, let me change the camera.
I'm talking about people who I still need to serve you a $10.99 for how much money I put into your pocket this past calendar year. You.
That's sad.
You, the very one. You and your crew. So butthurt over what? Something you don't even own. I don't even own it. But you were hurt to that degree to where order frightened you to that point. It's not me you don't like. You don't like order. You don't like discipline. You can smoke weed anywhere you want to. But if you told you can't smoke it at a business, it would cause you to want to wish death upon somebody.
Can I ask you how that make you? How did that make you feel, knowing that you helped put money in these people's pockets, help feed them, and they turned around and wished death on you? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that make you feel as a human?
It makes me feel like I did what God told me to do.
Rebecca, if you could not break our glass tables, I would appreciate it.
Rebecca is
I felt
pissed.
that.
It makes
They
me.
don't need names. They still play at the Freeman.
It
How about
makes.
that?
It makes me feel.
Sorry.
Thank you, honey.
We're gonna start
He
doing
said
it.
thank you.
It makes me feel like I've done what God asked me to do, and then whatever He does from that's between them and the Lord.
That's very mature of you.
Because you're just talking, and you talking to other people. You don't even have the heart to say that to me, because that's not really how you feel. You just haven't learned how to really deal with your emotions yet, which means that's why all of your life relationships fail. I'm learning every day in my marriage, but I clearly understand why things don't work out for you. Because you have a very hard reality check in your life. You don't understand how relationships really work.
Yeah.
So you don't hold a woman, you don't really have friends, you have people that you bum weed off of. You have people that you go and perform with and don't get a dime, and you think they riding with you, but they really not, because you don't really have a good grasp or concept on the nature of that relationship. You don't know what role you serve in it. So you just talking. So that don't hurt my feelings. It's disappointing to hear, but it doesn't hurt my feelings, man.
Yeah.
They just words. That's like somebody calling me a nigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
And
like-
you still playing my beats.
you still playing my beats. Like them just words.
Yeah.
If you really meant what you're saying or what you have said or how you have acted, then what you would do is you would have called me up. You would have asked me out to lunch. As many churches as you playing in 3 churches on one day just to make ends meet. You getting God somewhere. You at least know if you have an alt against your brother or sister, you go to them before the sun goes down. You don't want to
That's
go down
Bible.
on your wrath. That's the Bible. That's the book.
Yeah.
But you don't care about that.
Shout
What
out to
you-
y'all for the stars, man.
What you care about is being able to do and live what you consider the tour life at a brick and mortar. And that's not reality, man. You want the place to stay open, so you can't kick it like you on a tour bus.
Yeah.
You got to abide by the rules of the house, because the house got rules they have to abide by for the city. So, no, you can't do blow in the bathroom. No, you shouldn't be.
Well,
You shouldn't be rolling up on the patio.
Mama Queen. Mama Queen, you wild for that one.
You know, it's like you can't do those things and expect.
Club Shed.
That's hilarious.
club shit.
No, he's speaking fast, y'all.
He really is.
You can't expect for your work environment to be one that is going to stay fruitful. So anyone that was asked to leave, it's because you were messing up the party for everybody else that's trying to get money.
Yeah.
I was just doing my job.
Yeah.
If that offended you, hey man, I'm sorry. I don't take it back because I did what I was paid to do. But I'm sorry that you were affected by that. I'm sorry it hurt you that way. We could have talked it out. I've literally had people talk about me like a dog since leaving, simply because I didn't book their band what they considered enough.
Yeah.
And what they didn't realize is that the owner didn't want their band to play that much.
And that's kind of my that's kind of because with all of those people that are saying all that about you, you know what I'm saying, you have
Thank you, Gary, for the stars.
you have the owner just kind of sitting back and letting you take that, and it's like it's like, is the owner not standing up and saying, well, no, it's not just Gino, it's like this is a us decision. I stand behind the decision that he made.
Yeah, I mean, when you hire a team, you expect everybody on that team to do their job so that you don't have to do that. Now, it's honorable if you do come and back up when needed, like give
Right.
that positive reinforcement to your team so that they know they really are in a partnership. But everyone doesn't think that way. Now, I would like to think that I did that across the board, whether it was the employees there or the artists that I was booking. I always had everyone's back, even to the detriment of myself. I put myself in very hard situations that I did not benefit from for the benefit of the arts community at large. Now, 2024, I ain't doing that no more.
Right.
Y'all have gotten every bit of unk that you're gonna
Right.
get.
Right.
Moving forward, I am way past due on delivering on some things for me, and this whole downtime with my health and recentering my world, my relationship, my family, it has shined a light on that more than anything in the world. It's like my legacy ain't out there. It's what I leave for her.
Yeah.
It's what I leave for my kids. And there's some more stuff that I need to do to ensure that that legacy really means something, that it's really tangible, really fruitful. I can't do that helping everybody that I've helped to this point. That help. And this is God, not me. Because if it was me, I would still be championing for the masses. God said don't do it. And for once, I'm not going to be hard-headed. Okay. Do you, Gino?
Yeah.
Do what I told you to do.
Let me ask you this. Let me play devil's advocate for a second, right? Is there, and we got to take a break in a little bit, but I'm going to ask this before we take a break. Is there any part of the gripes that you've heard about Gino that might be legit? Like, that might be like, you know what, I can understand how you feel that way. I can understand why you feel that way.
Yes.
It's just that we haven't had that conversation, so you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You only speaking on what you don't know. Is there any part of those gripes that might be legit?
Yes. I know that my approach, it can be brash. You know, when I and everybody has seen it. If you ever work with me, I really have blinders on from the time I walk in the building.
Yeah.
And man, it could be abrasive.
Yeah.
In just approaching me and saying hello.
Especially when somebody doesn't understand, like you said, discipline or correction or anything like that.
That's something I had to work on like every day. You know, I mean, I mentioned it the last interview where I actually had to go back to an employee and apologize for how I exchanged with her. Just my approach was all wrong. You know, that is something for sure. Any other crap? Hell no. Y'all can keep that jazz. And we going to touch on it some more. There's some more things that we going to...
we just getting started.
This is just the first half, man. I don't even 100% know if we need... I don't even know if we 100% know if we need segments this time.
I say we
but we just going at it. Hey, listen, this is DFW Shed Sessions.
Shed.
Lou, hold on, now forget that. This is Club Shed Shed.
This is Skip. This is what we're gonna do, Skip.
Yeah. Hey, Lou, what you got?
Man, we finna go take a break, brother. I'm just sitting back chilling, man. I
see.
I need some tea, some wine, some something.
2 seconds, I forgot you was there.
Yeah, man. I forgot I was there for a second.
You forgot he was there too.
You might as well. Hey, listen, we are not done. We are not done. We are not done. Y'all make sure y'all stick around. We just got to go ahead and show some of these advertisements real quick. We got some dope people doing some dope things. We got the artist formerly known as Unc in the building. Paulo said bumper break. He said, I want my royalties. He said, that's the first time I heard Lou talk. Hey, man, listen, we got to pay some bills real quick. Don't go anywhere. We going to be right back. And again, don't bust that nut just yet. We'll be back.
Person that made a sound. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, dog, he said he ain't going to the prom. I'll knock your dick in the dick.
Need a moment to rewind, ease the mind, just wind down. And to breathe tranquility, just need to see some palm trees now. I wanna lay up.
You don't have to be a used to be my angel, then you switched. You don't have to be a used to be my angel, then you switched. You just switched it to a magic, oh you got the magic, magic, magic.
I cannot imagine. Girl, you got the magic. I cannot imagine, yeah, imagine.
Y'all, I finally did it. I finally finished my first ebook, From Overlooked to Overbooked, The Blueprint to a Successful Career as a Musician. Y'all, I poured my heart and soul over this ebook, compiling information from many years of experience that I feel would be beneficial to anybody who's looking to level up their career as a musician. I got so many topics on there, 10 different topics on there, talking about EPKs, professionalism, the gear to use. Go over to my link in bio, check out my ebook, follow me as I give more daily tips in regards to this topic to your future.
See, I'm a photographer. Feel what I'm saying? So if they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, it's my job to make sure they hear every last one of them. I got you.
I gotta share this feeling. It feels good to be loved by you. It feels good to be loved by you. It feels good to be loved by you. It feels good to be loved by you.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I got to say, man, this has been a great episode.
Absolutely.
Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, DFW Shed Sessions. Follow us on our Facebook page, the DFW Shed Sessions FB page. Also, social media, TikTok and Instagram, DFW _ Shed Sessions. Also, if you guys would like to partake in donating or just to have some contributions to our ministry, the DFW.
Yeah.
Take up offering and all that good stuff.
Turn to your neighbor and say that ain't much.
That ain't much.
Yeah. You could donate to our Zelle, DFW Shed Sessions at gmail.com. And also, you can check out our website, www.dfwshedsessions.com. So, let's go ahead and get to these social media plugs.
They call you BG.
Look at BG. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we got the jokes. All right. Anyway, so Professor Melville, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on all social media. Whoa.
That's that wine. That's that whip. That drink.
That's that communion.
business.
That's that communion.
That's that communion over there.
You can find me on all social media platforms at ProfessorMel.will. Wait, I'm done. Go ahead, Jay. It's on the screen.
Jesus Christ. All right. Lou and Cleon the twins. That's hilarious.
You know what?
My good brother.
I actually thought about that with your hair like that.
Yeah.
My good brother.
I have been mistaken for Cleon, by the way, at the airport. some months ago. But anyway, that's here, near there.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's
He ain't pushing no mute button after that. He
That's
ain't
hilarious.
got access to it.
So if y'all want to follow me, I am on Instagram, Who is JL Groove, Facebook, JL Groove. If y'all want to ride this funk train, go ahead and follow me at follow the band at Funk Your Feelings. It's FUNKYO Feelings, Facebook, Instagram. Also, if you want to dabble in some of this funk you couture, definitely hit me up. It's the fifth level, the fifth movement. Hit me up, man. We got hoodies, shirts, hats. Just came out with the shot glasses, so hit me.
Dope too.
Dope shot glasses. So hit me up when it comes to that. I do photography, videography, marketing, all that good stuff. So you can find that at Another Groove Project, because that's just another one of my projects. Another Groove Project on Facebook and Instagram.
Mike said Lou changed the whole speech vibe. Lou,
What I do?
where can we find you?
You can find me on good old social media. You can find me on Instagram, Lou Paul Beats. You can find me on TikTok, Lou Paul Beats. I also do have music out and available on all music streaming platforms. So chill hip hop instrumental music. Put in Lou Paul Beats, and yeah, that's it. So we back to my good brother, man, who having some great spill tonight.
Where can we find you at?
My good brother Gino.
Definitely www.LockJohnsonsPlayground.com. Across all social media outlets at LockJohnson or at LockJohnson's Playground. So that's how you can connect with me online.
Absolutely.
I meant to ask you this the last time you was here, Gino.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any original music out?
Yes, I do. Raphael and Ivory Jean put out 2 singles. One is called You and Me. One is called Miss So Fine. And those can be found on all your streaming platforms as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Hey, man. So, by the way, come on, Brandon. Don't come on here.
You looking loud tonight.
Looking mighty bright. Hey, man. It's good marketing. Brandon, hold what you got. We've been doing good this whole time.
Now they've been going in.
We
just ain't been reading them.
No, I'm talking about that particular comment right there. We've been doing all right this whole time.
Oh, no, we still them boys.
K-Lou said no. let's not start. We've been doing pretty good this whole time, man.
Chris Brenham said
great songs, by the way. They are great songs.
Thank you.
They are great.
My ubiquitous youth pastor, Chris Myers Brenham, right there. My co-producer and co-writer on the majority of the body of works for Ivory Jean. Chris, don't count me out just yet. This is the season.
Who will be on the podcast soon?
Absolutely, man. Chris would be an incredible guest. He's
gonna be on the pod soon, so shout out to the homie.
Love you too, CT, man. The Velvet Panda Bear. My main man.
Crush Velvet.
Yeah.
He said,
Tet. Yeah, Tet was one of those groups. It's about time for that too, man. It's
right.
Trust me, man. Y'all stick with me, man. This is the winning season for sure, and I appreciate the support of those that truly do have a heart for me and what I do and what I've presented. It is greatly appreciated, and it is very, very noticed. It's very visible. It's honest, and I honor that, man. So thank y'all.
What is Tet?
Quartet.
Yeah, Tet is a band I put together of some of the dopest country R&B musicians, singers in town, and we take all of your R&B favorites and we play them quartet style.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like we drive everything.
Yeah,
so
buddy.
what does Darius mean when he say he's ready to get moist again? Make something moist.
That he's talking about the music itself. Yeah.
Bo said scruff reunion. Okay, sure.
Oh, Ryan Brockinson is. Oh man.
Shout out to Ryan.
Yeah, some of
Good to
these
hear you,
people are
man.
on YouTube. I'm not able to read all of your
Yeah.
comments. But thank you. Dope content have been coming in, and I am going to say that he said gotta love playing 4 hours for $100 with only 3 people on stage.
Yeah. That's
tough.
It's tough, but it's part of the machine. And if you don't like the machine, how it's run, you feel free to rebuild it. That's the only way you're gonna see the change you want to see. You know, like that is unfortunately the business model. Now, if you go to LA and you make that, you're a fool. You know why? Because the cost of living is different in LA.
Right.
So you're gonna make more on the gig, but it equals out to what you doing here because the cost of living is different. So you hearing, well, they not making that in this region or that region. They making $250 a night. Yeah, but they rent is $5,000.
Right.
Here, it's $100, but your rent is $13. It's different because of the market. So if you don't want to play those kind of gigs, man, start your corporate band to where you can make some more substantial money. But if you're going to play in a club around Dallas, unfortunately, if you make $500 from 7 to 10, you've done very well.
Wow.
From 10 to 2, if you make 8, you made the standard. Now the way you combat that is stop putting 15 people on stage with you, so you can take some money home.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just helped.
I know you want to have the big sound. You want Mint Condition and the James Brown Band all put together. But do you really need 4 drummers at one time? No. Take some money home with you. You're going to drink up most of it anyway. You might as well cut your band down so you can reduce your overhead and have something to take home with you. Now you don't have to worry about, oh, we only made $100 a man. That's your budget.
Yeah.
It's not the venue's responsibility to tell you how many people to put on stage to make $1.
As a matter of fact, take two of those horn players out and have somebody sitting at the door counting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pay them to be there to be your business person.
Mike say hire your kids.
Right.
Hey, real.
Right.
Like it gets that crucial. It gets that serious.
Yeah.
If you consider your band has, let's say you have a 10-piece band. Like I have an artist right now I manage. He has a 10-piece band. Well, a 10-piece band is not always needed in every situation.
Yeah.
Every stage in Dallas can't fit 10 people plus mics and equipment and all that.
Yeah.
But you still want your people to eat. You still want them to be invested in what you have. Well, then assign a different task. Tonight, you're going to be on merch.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I'm going to pay, rather than paying them $100 for performing, I'm going to pay you $50 for it. Like, it's so many ways that you could do it to keep your people happy and to keep your budget intact. But it's not the venue's responsibility to do that. I know. I can't
disagree with that.
I know that when it comes to doors, door prices, and I believe Gummy said something about what he didn't agree with concerning door charges. Hey man, I get all of the concerns, and I think new business models can always be improved upon. But from being on this side of the table many times and being so deeply ingrained when it came to the Freeman, the business model was actually brilliant.
Okay.
You got 4 bands a night, 7 nights a week.
That's a lot.
There's not another place in the country that does that. It truly is the only one. How do you make all of that run? Why is there a guarantee from this time to this time, and then there's a guarantee that's different from this time to that time, and then on the weekends it changes? I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
So during the week, those are not peak performance times.
Right.
Peak performance times are the weekend, Friday and Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
So Sunday through Thursday, there's no cap on how much a band can make. As many people as you can get in the door is how much money you're going to make. Now, you'll have a minimum guarantee, and you can negotiate that to make sense for how many people you figure you're going to have. Now, a lot of the guarantees that were set for bands at the Freeman who had residencies when I got there, I had nothing to do with those.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, all of them.
They were almost some of those bands were almost
Grandfathered in. Yeah. I had nothing to do with their negotiation for what their guarantees were. Again,
and if you don't start on time, you probably never have guarantee in the first place.
I mean, if you don't start on time, I brought a system where people, we docking bands.
Yeah.
Or we're not giving drink tickets out this time.
Yeah.
Or you know what, you're not getting half off on your food this time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there had to be some kind of balance.
Yeah.
Or, the ultimate, I'm not going to book this band no more.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, you don't really want this residency because you don't treat it like you want it.
Mm.
So let's try something different. You've been here a long time anyway. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
There's different ways you view it, but how it worked, it's a really good business model.
Bo Dub said some of those bands were grandfathers.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Dwayne Berry said, "Why shouldn't have?" I don't understand your question. Can you
Don't really
reword?
understand.
Why shouldn't? Gummy, reword your question.
Should have to double.
Why shouldn't have to?
You're overtyping.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Overtyping.
Hooked on funny.
So
Dwayne got fat thumbs, so you gotta excuse him.
So from Sunday to Thursday, you got 4 bands, and it's the same 4 bands every night.
Mm-hmm.
There's a different guarantee. However, I'm sorry, K-Lube. You're
not wrong, and that's a bad reputation to have.
It's a bad reputation to have,
Yeah.
because that is, unfortunately, it was like a cancer.
Yeah.
It ran rampant, and it was hard to corral.
Yeah.
You can only tell some people, same thing so many times. Once you start hitting their pockets, you hope that does it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for some, that don't even do it.
Yeah.
But Sunday to Thursday, you got same 4 bands every night. And then Friday and Saturday, you have a band 7 to 10, which is a $300 minimum, guarantee, $500 maximum.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens if more than that comes through the door from 7 to 10?
Mm-hmm.
More than the max.
More than the max.
Yeah.
Why is there a max put on? Because during the week, let's say, as many times as it happened on Tuesday night, only 3 people come into the venue.
Mm-hmm.
How do we offset the guarantee for this band that's here every Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have some money in the kitty set up.
Yeah.
That's where that money on the weekend goes.
I got you.
It's not, you're not getting what you're supposed to have. No, the business model says that here's the max. It doesn't mean that you can't make any tips. It's just from 6 to 9, we counting heads for your 7 to 10 show.
Mm-hmm.
Right? From 9:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m., we count heads for your 10 to 2 show.
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit the max, that surplus, it helps to funnel the rest of that engine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it's fair. You want to make more, you can negotiate for more. You can up the door price if you want. You can ask for that. There have been nights where we charge $15. Now, it worked against us because them really wasn't $15 shows.
Yeah.
But because the person that was asking was tenured, we were willing to take the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it just didn't work. The free man, if you say more than $10, you are running the risk of not having anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they used to.
Especially when some of those people had been coming there since the small side.
Right.
So they already feel like they shouldn't have to pay the 10.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm one of those people. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
But
get it.
but it's like so
Here we go.
what Dwayne was asking was what he's saying we shouldn't have to pay, we shouldn't have to double pay. ! Why should we have someone sitting at the door? We are already paying out 10% for the door staff.
That just again, I'm not a part of the organization. I'm just speaking from my tenure. But what that question, the answer is simple. If you don't care about your line of business that much, that's between you and your business. That's a level of protection for you and your business. You can trust whoever you want or not. What you get paid will be indicative of that.
I think pretty much what Gino is saying, and he's it's not wrong. I somewhere get where Dwayne is coming from.
I totally get it.
I get where, because he was like, well, if the specific job is counting the door, that's y'all job. Mm-hmm. But what Gino is saying is, okay, add an extra layer of protection for your bit, because you should be looking at your band. See, I think, and I'm not talking about Dwayne, because Dwayne actually he's actually come a very long way as far as how he is handling how he handles his business. But for the most part, I think a lot of people don't look at their bands as businesses.
Right.
They just look at it as a group of cats to get on stage and play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the disconnect is, okay, well, if you're not going to handle your band as a business, don't expect, you know, just like if you're not going to treat a chick like a wife, don't expect wifely qualities from her.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
You're not gonna get those kickbacks.
Exactly. So it's like in order for your brand to be respected as a business, there's certain things, and you have to invest in your business, right? So it's like yeah, I have this band, and you know, we playing this small venue, and I decided to hire somebody on my own to be at the door, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe another perspective is just use it as training ground. Mm-hmm. You want to get to that bigger venue, right? Where you're going to need, where the venue ain't going to do nothing but just open the doors and let you play. Mm-hmm. They're probably not going to have a door person anyway. Right. Maybe security, if that. So you're going to want somebody who has had that proper training. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I get both sides. But at the end of the day, it's about really handling your bands and your, you know, like an actual business.
It's that, I tell you what, man, just so we're not hung up on just like the person of the door, having someone. Mm-hmm. Look at it this way. What's the difference between that and a tour manager? Mm. While you're on stage, your tour manager is making sure that the business
you gotta trust them.
It's taken care, and you gotta trust them. Right. Yeah. They going and checking on your merch. They go into the front office, you know, to check on the cash box and to pick up the rest of your pay and all of that. Like, it's no difference than having one of your homies who you gonna get in for free anyway.
Yeah.
Say, man, I know you come to the show tonight. Yeah, fool, I'm gonna be there. Say, I need you to do me a favor. Do me a solid. You already getting, let's just say it's the free man. Mm-hmm. You're already getting 2 free drinks as a band member performing. Why don't you offer that to your partner? Mm-hmm. Say, man, 2 drinks on me tonight. All I need you to do is from 6 to 9, count how many people walk through the door and pay. Mm-hmm. What is it costing you? Mm-hmm. You're supposed to just, as creatives, when we're in that vein on stage, all we're supposed to be doing is focusing on being creative.
Yeah.
Not it's a lot to do and handle as a band leader. I have all the respect in the world for Gummy, because he is the quintessential businessman. He is a one-man do it all. Yeah. So I know he get it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it's the same thing. It's like it doesn't hurt to have somebody else, another layer of protection. Not saying you don't trust, but you still got to be mindful, man. It's just business. I want to make sure I'm good at the end of the day.
And so I think pretty much, you know, for everybody's like that's wondering, like I think Gino is pretty much saying, like, yo, just make sure you add that extra layer of protection for yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Anywhere you play.
Yeah, even though yes, they have people at that job, but we all know if we don't handle the business the right way, there are some business owners and some venues, they're gonna see that as a weakness. Oh, they don't have that part covered. Cool, that's a loophole for me to screw them over. Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't have the same moral compass.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's just the way it is. I get it, man. People are paid to do the job they're paid to do, but everyone doesn't do that. Yeah. You find that out in the bands we playing. You hire a cat to learn the music, and he get there, and he don't know.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm straight.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't got to worry about it. It's like, no.
But then he walking in the venue doing this.
Right.
Yeah. That's
which one is this? Which one? Yeah, it's the same premise. So
Dwayne, his response was, "I got that, but the door is split 90% of the band. 10% is already going to the house to do that job." I think you meant okay. So policing people we already paying is kind of insane. Again, Gummy. I think what he's saying is add an extra layer of protection. If he's not saying that this is something that you have to do, I don't want to speak for you, but
yeah, it's wise to do, man. You know, and in this scenario, you know, I'm only speaking towards what my experiences were while I was a part of that organization, and I don't even have any gripes, but I have some disappointments because, again, as I've departed from this partnership, my musical community, I feel, had let me down.
yeah,
I truly feel that way. You know, there are people specifically that didn't even call just to see if I'm okay. That knew very well some of the rocky terrain.
yeah,
So here's how it goes. On November 12th of 2023, I sent in my resignation for the Freeman. I said, okay, you know, it's time to go. And my resignation date was to be January 18th of 2024, my 3-year anniversary. It was a Thursday night.
okay,
I was like, okay, that'd be my 21 gun salute.
okay,
Get to ride off into the sunset. I've completed 3 years. We've done so many things. We've come through fire and hell together.
let's leave on a good note.
Let's leave on a good note.
Yeah.
How I came in is how I'm going out.
Yeah,
And my resignation letter was received by front office that same evening. I was on a flight from Amsterdam back to Dallas.
okay,
I got before I got back to Dallas, I got a response saying thank you. And I mean, it was the nicest, sweetest response to me resigning. They agreed to my terms of me leaving January 18th. Even cited within the email, thank you so much for the gift of 2 months to find a replacement. We know it will almost be virtually impossible to find someone to replace what you bring to the table. But with time, we hope we'll be able to find someone. Thank you for, I mean, really like, oh, okay, all of this, kind of like what I've been looking for the almost 3 years I've been there. Some gratitude.
thank you. Yeah.
Some appreciation.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. All right, January 18th, gonna be the day. Well, a couple of days later, I go into work, and they have hired the next GM. His name was Stuart Jones.
Okay.
Stuart, mid-50s, late 50s, and I want to present him to him. He's like, hey, yeah, this is Stuart, and yeah, man, he's the guy you're going to be training. He's going to be taking your job. I looked him in his face, and I had to apologize because I bust out laughing.
Okay.
I did. I laughed in the man's face. I said, I did.
Okay.
I said, good luck. I said, man, I don't mean no harm. My apologies, but
That's why they mad.
I said, my apologies. I said, but they gonna eat you alive.
You just saw that off the bat.
Yeah, I said they gonna kill you in here. This is a young man's game, and I'm not even that young. But you gotta have fresh legs to be in here. I was like, stay on my hip because I move around the entire time I'm here. This I'm gonna get you right. But I said, just be ready. I said, I'm sorry for laughing, man. And he's like, oh, no problem. And then he went and went behind the bar and started talking to one of the bartenders. I was like, okay, so that's how this relationship is gonna start. Okay, he's gonna do his own thing. All right, I'll wait till he wants to come talk to me.
Right.
So he comes into my office, and I was
Damn, Gino, right?
yeah,
Just rude.
yeah. I was like, yeah, it was. It just came out. I was like, boy, they gonna kill this dude. So he comes in my office, has a seat. I was like, hey man, let me walk you through how the night starts. This is what I do when I walk in the door, my first and everything. Oh man, I thought it was a manual. I thought it was like a comprehensive training thing. I come in the daytime, sit at the computer, watch, and da-da-da. I was like, no, my brother, it's not like that. I told him, I wrote the manual for this job. Well, man, just email me everything. I'm going to get back on this floor and help these servers. I said, okay. All right, go right ahead, man. All right. I say, I'm telling you, stay on my hip.
Yeah.
Stay with me.
That's the first.
Yeah.
Stay with me because I have to be everywhere at one time.
Yeah.
Stay with me. He opted not to stay with me. This was about 7:30. 11 o'clock comes. He come huffing and puffing, saying that he quit.
Really?
Yeah. Say he quit, man. I mean, he was cussing up a storm. He was highly pissed, and this ain't what I thought it was. And I laughed again.
So there's been another GM after you.
Dang.
Before.
Let me get there, brother.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
wow. Okay.
So I laughed again. I was like, bro. I was like, Stuart, hey man, don't jump off the cliff just yet. I'm gonna get you right. This was 2 days before Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna get you right. Don't quit just yet. I was like, let me talk to John Jay. I'm gonna call him tomorrow. And I'm gonna I was like, Stuart, this I told you, man, stay with me. Yeah. I was like, but this doesn't have to be the end. Yeah. I was like, they need you. They need you here. I promise I can get you together. Okay, give me I said, how about? I said this, and it was a Friday, so it was a couple of days before Thanksgiving. It was a Saturday. You can't train somebody to do this job on the busiest night of the week. Like that doesn't make sense at all. I said, I'll be here on next Wednesday. It's a slower night. We can walk through things and really start to build. All right, man, I'm gonna be here.
Because Monday and Tuesday was your off nights.
Monday and
right?
Tuesday were my off nights. Now initially, I only had 1 day off a week. That 2 day, that Monday and Tuesday off thing, that only came like closer to the end of my tenure. I used to work 60, 70 hours a week easy. When our brother, when the whole shooting happened, man, I worked almost 100 hours that week.
Oh wow.
I don't get no extra money. I barely got a thank you. But anyway.
You also have to keep in mind this is taken away from your home life.
Oh, it was, man.
This is taken away from you being a husband, a father. Yeah. It was your health.
It was a lot of toll.
What happened, Becca?
Afterwards the next week.
It was a lot.
He had worked over 100 hours, and so the next week he needed to rest. He had dealt with media, police, everything because of the chief shooting.
I want y'all to know that I wanted to give her a mic and she said no.
Literally the next week, he asked for rest. And he said, I've got to rest. I've been working nonstop, blah, 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 blah. He docked his pay for the hours that he wasn't there. He didn't pay him overtime for the 100 hours. But the second he worked 30 hours, he got docked for 10 hours for not being there a whole 40 hours.
What?
Wow. He didn't get paid overtime, guys, working over 100 hours in 1 week, dealing with the whole chief thing because he was told that because he was a black guy and this was a black situation that he needed to deal with it. How about that?
How about it?
Tell the truth.
Wow.
Tell the truth.
My mic just went.
Thank you, dear.
Ooh-wee.
So,
Rebecca has spoken.
As we move forward, I tell the guy not to quit. And
he said what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what he does is.
Ruby said the devil is a lie.
What he does is
he don't have no clue.
Crazy.
Just bring it in.
I'm sorry.
So what he does is, again, I tell the guy not to quit. Told him I got you. So what Stuart does is he calls the owner the next day and tells him that I was nowhere to be found to train him. Yeah, he said I couldn't even find the guy, man. It's like
clearly you sleep there.
He's like, what? He's like, I don't know what you're expecting of me because the guy that was supposed to be training me, I couldn't even find him. All night long. Somebody else had to train me. To this effect, the front office, they actually put that lie in writing.
Oh, wow.
and said to a state agency that the night that Stewart was to be trained, that they had to pay another employee overtime to train him. Right? They put this in writing to a state agency. The guy left at 11 o'clock, and that's, you can see that on his timesheet. Now the business doesn't close till 2.
To 2.
Who are you paying overtime when overtime would be past 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Who are you paying overtime?
He left at 11.
He left at 11.
The dude who was supposed to be replacing you left at 11.
Left at 11.
Because he was overwhelmed because he didn't stay by your hip.
Right. Now I'm watching the guy all night long. I'm watching him, cause y'all see, if you've been at the Freeman, for those who have frequented during my tenure, I was everywhere, all at the same time. I'm watching the back parking lot, patio, kitchen, bar. You see me busting tables, glasses. I'm taking care of bands on both sides. I'm helping run sound. I'm all in between, right? Dealing with code compliance, dealing with conflict that happened, all at the same time, as well as spending about an hour and a half, 2 hours in the office every night, just watching the cameras out of the view of everyone, so that I can see the area, so that I can see what I need to see without people seeing me, and I can not so much catch them doing wrong, but make sure that they doing everything even when I'm not visible. So
Mike said filling in on drums.
I'm filling in on drums. I mean, doing it all. So yeah. So
You got a question?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Gary said, do you feel like being overwhelmed and undervalued led to the health issues you experienced?
Partly. I mean, stress will kill you. Stress is a silent killer. So absolutely. And that's something that, I have to take ownership of, because you don't have to allow yourself to get to those levels. You can control your stress levels. You can control how much intake you take of anything, whether it be food, beverage, work, whatever. You can work out too much and kill yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So those things I had total control of, but I was so invested in the idea of making this place so beautiful, and making sure that everyone that I truly cared for, which is this arts community, thrive, but to my own detriment, because I'm not looking out for me. I was treating it too much like mine, and that was, why things unraveled. A lot of the ways they unraveled. So yeah, they document that. He documents that. That he couldn't find me and all this, and okay. So that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I messaged the cat like, "Yo, be there at 6:30. All right, we ready to get going. Who don't show up for work? The guy that's supposed to be the new manager. All right, Thanksgiving is the next night. I initially took the night off, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna come in because the new guy is supposed to be coming in. It's gonna be a slow night. Like Thanksgiving night is always slow. There's no kitchen open. It's only the bar.
Now, is this the one that quit, or
yeah,
the one that quit? Yeah.
He didn't show up again. Now, I don't know that he has, I don't know that all has transpired. Friday comes. Now, I'm remind you, the guy said he was quitting. I begged him not to. I said, I got you. So to me, he ain't quit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
We just wait until he come back.
Calm down.
Yeah.
A bit. Yeah. I got you.
Well, Friday comes. Well, I don't want to go too far. So that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which would be the 22nd, right? Thanksgiving was the 23rd, that Thursday. So the 22nd, I have a phone call with John Jay. And it's about the resignation letter, because we came to a magnet place.
Yeah.
Because I had a show on Tuesdays and I had a show on Wednesdays at the Freeman.
Okay.
My Tuesday show, I had that show before I became the GM. I wasn't even working there. I got that.
That was the and the
no, that was the catalog sessions.
catalog. Okay, bet.
That was every Tuesday, 7 to 10. So I had that show, before I became the GM. Then my Wednesday show, the warm-up, the open mic show, that evolved because we had to replace the Wednesday night late show. And John Jay wanted the warm-up because it had done so well at another venue.
Yeah.
He was like, that's the show I want.
Because that was the that was where you were it was, like American Idol type situation. Yeah.
And we were using the winner of that show would get their own show on the small side from 7 to 10 on the weekend.
Yeah.
So we're funneling our performance roster, finding them.
And you put a lot of people on with that with that situation.
Right, you find all kinds of musicians, all kinds of, it was a gold mine for just discovering talent. That means the Freeman will always have artists playing.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was a win-win.
Yeah.
That was smart.
So my Tuesday night show this particular week, that Thanksgiving week, the pay for the show didn't come to me like it should have, like it was supposed to. He sent the pay to somebody else in the band. I didn't ask him to do that. He said he did it by mistake. But he instructed that person
No way.
to send the money to my band
Oh my gosh.
for me. He was like, "Hey," he says, "Hey, I made this mistake, but go ahead and send it out to the guys in your band."
Oh, that's not even
And
ethical.
and this
What?
and this person did it. And we've talked since then, and they apologetic, and I believe their heart and all that. So we're good. But he did that happened. So I questioned the owner, why did he do that? And it became a bit of a heated conversation, respectfully. So I said, I tell you what, man, my tenure is gonna be up here in January. All I ask is that you respect me just like I respect you. Let's ride this on out into the winning season, okay? Let's do that. And he was like, he responded saying, I think I have a way that we can resolve this and we still be able to work with each other from time to time. I was like, I'm all ears. In my mind, I wanted him to buy me out to January.
Okay.
Just buy me out now. I'll be out of your hair. Pay me what I would make from here to January 18th. And then you can move forward with your new manager and all that, and you don't have to worry about me. That's what I wanted. That's what I had in my mind. That wasn't the offer that came my way.
Okay.
What was the offer?
The offer that came my way was I trained this guy for 2 weeks. Same guy. I trained him for 2 weeks. Now this is November 22nd. Train him for 2 weeks, and then I'll get a severance package of $2,000 on December 22nd.
That's it?
That was a counter. Now this is after you've already agreed.
Right.
You already agreed to my terms in the email, and you thanked me for this whole window of time in less than 7 days. You said, well, no, we don't want to do that. And here's a counter. And I said, no, I declined. Respectfully. Wasn't no animosity, wasn't no hard conversation. I was like, I'm sorry, that doesn't fit, my life construct. You agreed to the terms, and I'm looking forward to you sticking to that agreement. Like, that's the admirable and honorable thing to do, and it's in writing. I know this is Texas. It's an at-work state. You can let somebody go with no justification whatsoever in the state of Texas. But we have this in writing. So this is binding now. So it says, okay, well, I'll get back to you tomorrow with another offer. I said, I look forward to it. I said, until then, I'll definitely be at work tonight. And I was there.
Because you keeping your end of the part.
And I was there on Thanksgiving night. I was there. So, Thanksgiving night I work. The next night is Friday. I wake up Friday morning to an email saying, these very words. Gino, it appears that you much rather take your chances with the unemployment office.
Wait, what?
So I'm going to make you an offer, and it's a take it or leave it offer. If you don't want to take it, you can take your chances with the TWC. At this moment, we are letting you go immediately. If you turn over all records, if you turn over all things concerning the free man, all logins, and there's no negative repercussions, we'll pay you $2,000 on December 22nd as a severance. This is November 24th. And at the end of it says thanks.
Thanks.
Now, mind
Arrogance, man.
Now, mind you, it starts with, here is the final offer, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
In that, what offer did you hear?
I didn't hear anything.
I heard the same $2,000 from last time.
What's the offer?
Exactly. That's an ultimatum.
It wasn't even an ultimatum. It
was nothing.
I'm letting you go.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Now, this is the corporate side of me talking, right? So, Freeman is a corporate entity, right?
Yes.
So, most times with a severance package, it comes with time that you would have encountered past whatever time. So, like, let's say if your end date was January, whatever, then they say, okay, well, we're going to pay you actually out to March or May or whatever to give you that time to, find something else or whatever. Did Freeman ever operate on that level where it's like, listen, you're an actual employee where we care about your well-being, we care about, and we know corporate America don't care. But at some point, most corporations, when they give you a severance package, they care about what's going to happen after that end date.
No, just answer it, no. That way you can save some of your precious breath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I was one of one. Like that offer.
They didn't care. You were just a number.
Yeah, it's just one of. And it's the service industry, so without some type of managerial package from like a Fortune 500 type restaurant, big chain, like a Ruth Chris or they have packages like that.
Exactly.
But this is not one of those entities. This is
but I'm a firm believer, especially a person, and I'm sorry, this is just me, and I know a lot of people feel the way I feel. You handled that situation, the shooting, very well to me, and I feel like at some point a compensation is warranted.
It would have been nice. I would have liked, and that's a very touchy subject because there's a relationship there that was that has been tarnished, and I don't know if and when it will ever be repaired. You know what I'm saying? Like I lost a friend because of that, because of my position.
Right. Well, I was about to say that. So with that shooting situation. With the shooting situation, like I said,
and I don't want to get too far because I will get lost. I won't get lost.
No, I got you. Okay. But just touching on what we're talking about now, even with it, and before I say that, shout out to the good brother Chief. That's the homie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's the homie. Shout out to the good brother Chief. It's been
Ted.
It's been a year.
Where you at, Ted?
It's been a year. We've seen him walking around. We've seen him thriving. Yeah. And we are extremely thankful that he came out from that on
Absolutely.
top. But with that being said, did it get to a point and even with that, not just the homie Chief was involved, but another one of the homies was involved.
Yeah.
On the other end of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did it come to a point to where it seemed as if you were the blame for all of that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not
unfortunately.
even married to you and I want to fight.
Unfortunately, but I mean that's
why I didn't get a mic.
that goes.
That's why she didn't get a mic.
That's people. That's people, man.
That's people.
You know, it's people. Now, that's a hard situation because I could have lost my life and I was there.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's so many people in that bit. Like that night.
That happened. Like that. I pulled up that night. That happened like 10 minutes before I pulled up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, babe. Jay, I did smoke a cigarette that night. Jay pulled up and definitely blessed my game.
He deserved it.
Yeah, because I was boohooing. It was a tough
man. Listen,
situation.
so this is Super Bowl night.
Yeah,
this is Super Bowl Sunday after the Eagles almost won, and
close,
close but no cigar. But yeah, so I pulled up and I see the ambulances outside and I see the tape and then so I pull around back because I know where to go.
Yeah.
And I was telling one of my partners I've gotten to know Gino, you know what I'm saying, quite a bit. Like our first, like we've passed each other, but our first actual getting to know each other started with Louis. And it got to it got to a point to where it got to fly already. It got to a point to where we built a relationship, and then especially with that loose and low situation, we built a relationship. But I pull around back. I say all that to say I had never seen this man this distraught. I'm talking about pacing back because one of the reasons I've always looked up to Gino is because I love to see people in tough situations keep a cool head. Don't raise their voice. You never heard Gino raise his voice too much, if at all. The only time you heard Gino raise his voice with him telling people get the F out. It's 2:00. It's time to go.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And I never seen him this distraught. You know what I'm saying?
That was funny.
And he was like, hey, Jay. He was like, I was like, hey, what do you need? That was my thing. That was my thing. What you got?
What's funny is I was at a Freeman sometime last year, and it was I think it was a couple. I think they tried to get in and they tried to cross the rope or something, and you wasn't having it, and you just told him to leave. But it was so like relaxed. He didn't raise his voice. And yeah, y'all gotta go.
He cool, you know.
It's like we don't have to get to those levels unless
we need to,
and that's unless that's the level you truly request.
There was one time in front of the Freeman. I pull up to the Freeman, and it's a dude laid out. Now it wasn't Gino that did the laying out. But Buddy was asked to leave several times because he was causing a disturbance, and I just pull up and he laid out, and Gino just, hey, we asked him to leave. We asked him to leave. Now you can, and he got on the microphone that night. He said, now look, we can either leave willingly, or you could be properly escorted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, man.
That was a harrowing situation, but I have a friendship that was, seriously affected because of my position with the venue. Too. Yeah, it hurts to this day. I'm so glad, that Chief is where he is.
He definitely came out on top. Yeah.
And Chief would be a perfect person for this show.
Oh, we plan on it.
Yeah,
we plan on it.
But so with this whole resignation, that's how I was terminated. Like that Friday, the 24th, I got that response, and it was no offer made. It was just, we're terminating you effective immediately.
It was a pissing contest, pretty much.
Yeah, we're terminating you effective immediately.
He lost.
And that was it. And so we met at 11 a.m. I turned in my keys. I gathered. This is how bad it really was. How piss poor it was. The drums that are on the main stage at the Freeman on Bourbon stage, those drums were made by Dallas Drum Company. Shout out to John Zug. Custom made. The time we got them made, we got that kit made, and we got the kit that used to be on Frenchman refurbished, which went to the owner's house. He didn't even know, or he didn't even remember that the drums that were on the main stage belonged to the Freeman. He had them packed up for me to take home with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
On some petty shit.
He's
pretty
like,
much.
he's like, hey man, I packed up all your stuff for you. I was like, dude, these drums belong to the Freeman.
Right.
Like, these are not mine. Like, I could have been a dick.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
But I was
Be
like,
sure.
But
Yeah.
I was like, look on the inside of the drum. It has the Freeman's name. I had it engraved.
Yeah.
I was like, these are yours. Oh, okay. I was like, see
How
this?
you not know?
I was like, okay, okay. So I left no issue, 3 days later, the dude that lied, the dude that they had to replace me, 3 days later, 1, 2, 3, Thresh. He quit.
He quit again.
But I mean, officially walked
yeah.
off the job. This time he didn't do it at 11. He did it at 12:30.
The next day.
The 12:30 peak hours. That's
on the weekend.
Yeah.
At
Three
the roughest-
3 days later.
Yeah.
So, as irony would have it, the young lady that I was training to be the next assistant manager or next manager upon my departure, who they said they were not going to give it to because they didn't trust her. She didn't do anything to make them even say that. She didn't do anything to make them question the trust in her. That's who got the job. The person that I set up to get it in the first place.
She probably don't even know that too. She probably don't even know that.
The person I set up to get in the first place. That's who's doing it now.
Wow.
And they hired 4 more people
Yeah.
to do the one job
They put out a whole.
that I was doing. All of a sudden now the month, because again, I told you at the initial, I should have left a year 2.
Yeah.
When I asked for a raise at my 2-year mark, because at first when I took the job, I said every month we're gonna meet and we're gonna do a breakdown, and we're gonna follow a meeting on where we are with the month. That never happened. Never had time. 2-year mark come. I'm like, hey, we've had these advancements here. We built this revenue. We got these shows. We've done this and that. And I'd like to talk about a raise. I was promised a stake in the company. Once I hit certain benchmarks, hit them, knocked them out the park, like Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
Without a tainted record.
Right.
I mean, knocked them out the park. Didn't come through on that. Then I was offered to actually buy into the company. One of the owners, because it's a 5-partner team that owns it, and John Jay is just the principal owner. But one of the partners they were going on to other ventures and wanted to sell their partnership. I was asked. I received communication that I have to this day. I keep receipts. Saying that I would make a wonderful addition to the ownership team. And here are the financials. Take these with you to a bank to help you obtain a business loan. $250,000 buy-in. I opted not to do it.
Okay. Why not? Why not?
This ain't my own.
I got you.
I'm supposed to have my own.
I got you.
If I'm this hard to work with, despicable character who you can't trust,
Messing up the money.
why you offer me to be part owner?
Part owner, yeah.
I didn't ask to be part owner.
Yeah.
You were on this for like 2-3 weeks, following up with me. Hey, so what happened?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, towards the end of my tenure, man, I got tired.
Yeah.
Now, when I say I stopped caring, my level of stop caring is different than most, because I still do good business when I stop caring.
Right.
I just make sure that everything is real exact.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't do the over.
No. I don't go above and beyond like I used to.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I feel that.
yeah, rather than my 21-gun salute, that's how my tenure ended. I was leaving anyway, but it was a set time of when I was going to do so, and it was agreed upon, and then that was rescinded, and then this onslaught of everything that I wasn't problematic, and all these things were put out, and again,
they're gonna call you problematic when you standing on business.
There's certain people that I really wish would have reached out and they didn't. There are certain people that have really put their mouth on me negatively. I mean, I'm standing up in chairs, screaming excitement. Man, it feels so much better in here. Yeah, but you was like literally just crying on my shoulder the week before when I told you I was resigning. What happened? What I do? What I did? What happened? Who did it? So
I'm not.
why?
I'll say I'll give you the option to say names if you want to.
Why are we so upset?
I'll give you the.
And I mean, I've had 4 conversations. I've been fortunate enough to have 4 conversations with people that had spoke negatively.
Okay.
And I mean, like, real, like, nasty. I've had a chance to speak with them, and they all recanted and gave a reason of why. 2 of them said because they felt like I abandoned them because they were told that I just stopped coming.
Okay.
One, he was in his feelings because he didn't feel I hired his band enough.
Okay.
And then another, he had a problem because I actually had to put him out one time. It's like, hey man, we can talk through whatever. These things don't have to happen. Like, I'm glad the Found is back. If that's what the venue need, okay. The Found being gone was never supposed to be permanent. They were already told from the jump, we need to put a pause on the Found because there's too much heat surrounding what happened with the shooting.
Well,
and that's why the Found was asked. It was a pause. It wasn't a departure, but that pause wasn't accepted, and it turned into a departure.
Well, there may or may not be a message saying that it's about time that the Found another place to go.
I know this message.
You know what I'm saying?
I rewrote it.
It was worse.
Yes.
It was worse.
I rewrote everything of worth for the free man. Because how I communicate in business, that's why I was hired.
Yeah.
I could do it in a way that's not offensive.
Yeah.
But that point is still met. Yeah, it was too personal.
Yeah.
So I had to rewrite it so it came from a business standpoint. And it was time. At that juncture, TABC had already taken away the liquor license for 7 days.
Yeah.
When a person over at Bitter End had died.
Yeah.
They were still able to be open and function. It was something with the Freeman that the city was really out to get the Freeman and shut it down.
Well, the city seemed to have been out for the Freeman.
Yeah, that goes.
Even
goes
before
way
you,
back.
them letting because you had to fill that slot and it seemed like he was building traction. You had Tim Sterling fill that slot.
Had Tim come in.
So after you left them letting him go, was that like kind of like them being petty on their part?
No, they didn't let Tim go. Tim walked away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tim walked away on his. He my artist.
If y'all gonna handle business like that with him, then y'all good on me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tim Sterling for staying on business.
Starling. Yeah, Tim Starling is.
I keep saying Sterling.
Yeah.
Starling.
Yeah, the night that I was let go, there were several bands that didn't show up.
Really?
Because they heard what happened, and because they really ride with me. They knew I wasn't blowing no smoke up their tail, and I didn't down the venue. I was like, I'm no longer affiliated with the Free Man, and that's all I need to hear. So they didn't go, because they knew. Now there got to be something up, but Tim has since returned. He's there every other Thursday.
I saw that. And he's talented as hell, man.
He's incredible talent.
Talented as hell.
He's incredible talent, and he's getting the money he's supposed to get.
Yeah. Okay.
And as of right now, from what I know,
I didn't mean to mess up your name, Tim.
Because they going
I see y'all.
It's a bunch of
Starling.
And from what I know, there's been a pay increase for the majority of acts across the board. Because that's the only way they can get them to stay.
I was just about to say, you think it's like a pacifier moment or whatever?
Absolutely. And if this is what it took to get y'all more money, man, you welcome. Great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just handle the situation. Just handle the business right.
Yeah.
Don't be me.
Yeah.
Don't be too trusting. Don't stay too long. Everything has an expiration date. Everything. Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of us have an issue with. Especially now, again, like it is however we feel about ownership and stuff like that. The Freeman is 100% a staple in the Dallas music community. You cannot take that away, from them. But I've never seen a situation where so many people have fought so hard to get somewhere where they. Let's be clear, Gino does my booking, so y'all do the math. I got you.
Let's rap, Bo.
But, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, Bo should have been your artist years ago, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it, Bo.
Talk about it. Let's rap.
We're open to any and all comments and questions and concerns. But no, I've never seen a situation where it's like so many people have. It's almost like a stronghold almost on some people. It's like I gotta be in here, and no matter how many times I get banned, no matter how many times I get talked about, the fact that it was said that this is a black issue, you deal with it.
Now let me taper it just a tad.
Okay, put it in perspective, because that's wild. I haven't let that go since it was said. We might need to get Becca on the mic.
Me being the face of the situation was because I was the only face that could be in that front. No way does the free man survive if John Jay does that by himself. If he takes the lead.
Okay, by himself is different from you by yourself, though.
Yeah. Now I took on the responsibility without thinking about any of that. What I knew, my partner got shot.
Yeah.
I got another partner that's affected by this.
Yeah.
People in here that I genuinely care about were seriously affected. My job, this is my crowning moment. This is my Camelot moment. I'm going out. I'm not thinking about none of that on the back end until I realize I don't have no more gas in my tank, physically, and I really don't have the support that I thought I had when I took this on. I mean, I'm scheduling interviews. I'm doing this. The family, Chief's family, they wouldn't have gotten on TV had I not set up Channel 8. They wanted to interview me at the venue. I called Chief's father. I said, this is your opportunity to be heard. Can you be here in the next 15 minutes? Because they were at Baylor.
Oh, wow.
He was like, I'm bringing my wife, I'm bringing my daughter, I'm bringing... It's like, come. We're going to use this interview time that was supposed to be for us, for y'all. And it turned into the story that it was supposed to be. They weren't getting that up. I mean, I was working tirelessly, and I've done that with every situation. The free man is in the freaking New York Times.
Yeah.
Off of a diabetes ad. Remember, I'm a type 2 diabetic.
Yeah.
Artist I play with, Zach Harmon. He's a diabetic. They were doing a story on Zach. It happened to be the night we was playing. I worked all the back channels to make sure that they did all the footage at the Freeman. So there's a national ad running around about this diabetes medication, and the Freeman is front and center.
Wow. You're welcome.
Like that type of advertisement, you can't, bro.
Yeah.
Jasmine Horn, right here from Dallas, Texas, one of the greatest jazz singers of our time. I had her play from 7 to 10 on a Friday. Jasmine Horn don't work for no $300, $500.
Right.
Frank McComb.
Right.
I had Frank McComb at the Freeman. One of the highest grossing nights. Snarky Puppy after party.
Yeah.
We done had everybody and they mama at the Freeman. Tony Baker,
Yeah.
To Hear More. Like I had the whole Kev on Stage crew there. From every tour, like, and I'm not talking about because these is this person's friend and this is that person's friend. No, this is me doing my job, bringing people of worth that draw into this venue.
Yeah.
You think Dennis Rodman just started showing up at the Freeman?
Just cause, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I ran into this idiot one time down in Deep Ellum.
Right.
And he was asking about crawfish, and I told him where it was. And now you can't get Dennis Rodman out of the Freeman.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin know when he come in, we gonna take care of him.
Right.
Don't pay a dime. But it's Michael Irvin.
Had Robert Glasper up there.
Bro,
right, yeah.
Corey Henry, like
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
had everybody and they mama.
Yeah.
And it's because of relationships I was able to leverage, seeing musicians grow and people come together. Like, man, honestly, man, did you ever see JB leading a band?
Yeah.
JB is a monstrous bass player.
Absolutely.
But to see him as a band leader warms my heart.
Yeah.
Because it's like, my man got it.
Yeah. Shout out JB Smack.
Reggie Terrell is smoking. He's
Yeah.
just not Reggie on trombone. He is a hell of a band leader.
He was shout out to him too. He was just on, what was it, Jimmy Kimmel?
Yes.
Yeah. He was just on Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah.
As man, Joven is just not 6'8". This man got a whole band and they working. It's a beautiful thing to see people evolve from what they thought they were to who they were supposed to be. And all of that happens because you got somebody in there that cares. I cared about the staff. I cared about the artists. I cared about the arts community as a whole. And I really, man, I don't feel that I was really appreciated to the level that I should have been. And it's disappointing. I don't walk around with that stuff on me and, oh, woe is me. And no, man, there's some stuff I could have done better just even as just a manager. You know, I can only get the place so clean.
Yeah.
Like without the money to put with it, it's only so much I could do.
Right.
I can only get this. I can only get this type of personnel to come in. I mean, in the service industry, people take that kind of job for one of three reasons. It's either the beginning of their career, they're going for wherever they're gonna go. They need some fast cash, or they have nowhere else they can work.
Yeah, that's all I can do. Yeah.
It's one of three reasons.
Yeah.
So that's why the Freeman, like my moniker, man, we don't, like literally, I hired everybody. If you want a job, I hire you.
Let me ask
What
you,
about tambourine players?
Mel, if you would just stop. If you would just stop.
Hire tambourine players?
A band could. if a tambourine player could wash some dishes real well to serve tables.
Wow.
You know,
we want to be on stage.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because and last time you was here, I asked you about balance.
Yeah.
I like to ask all the artists about, or all the people that we have on the stage, on the couch. I'm sorry, about balance. Balancing life. Whatever. So during this whole time, again, you have Gino the husband.
Yeah.
You have Gino the father. Gino the grandfather.
Yeah.
But then you also have Gino the person. So all of this that's going on, and you're putting all that you got into this thing that's not yours.
Right.
How is this affecting the house?
Man, it's some very hard, dark days. Mismanagement.
Yeah.
Something's going to lack.
Yeah.
With as much effort and time that I was putting into to the job. And those areas are being rebuilt, repaired, reconstructed even now. Again, this downtime has been reconnecting period. Not just with me with God, and me with myself, but me with my house, with my wife, my children, my family. Like, man, my family is one of dysfunction. Truly.
Yeah.
Most PKs come from that. But I'm talking about in real time, present day. Yeah, man, my family's dysfunctional, man, and there's some healing that needs to go on. And I'm in a position where I can actually be a part of it and help facilitate it. Where when all of that time was going towards the free man, I didn't. Which is why I don't look at it as woe is me and oh my God, you know, this is gone. Man, I know God is going to do his thing. I've had my days where they were dark and I was looking around like, now Lord, what am I going to do? Like, I can't even really play drums. Like, that was a moneymaker. Like, I got to keep my stress levels to a certain point, so I can't even make certain phone calls. I can't get my blood, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to take a third of my colon, man. Dude, that's
a lot,
I'm trying to not wear a colostomy bag. That's what this antibiotic is for, man. I'm really okay. I'm really opening up my life to y'all, man. Like this IV, this antibiotic I have running through my veins, I was giving myself every day while in the hospital and after. Like, I took my last antibiotic infusion last Thursday. It's so that I can kill the infection in my colon enough for them to do the surgery. The surgery is happening.
It's gonna happen.
Dude, like, what I'm gonna do? But trust God. But sit and really rebuild, repair. My wife beats that into my head all the time. This is your time because you missed the first window. Like, I'm a firm believer that, man. With the free man, I missed my first window.
After that 2 years.
I missed that first window. Now I'm in a room full of windows. And I know another one's gonna open. But then that window is closed because I'm ousted from the position sooner than what I believe I should have been. But God knew, knew different. It doesn't change my level of disappointment.
Of course.
Doesn't change my level of, man, it really hurts my feelings by what some of you said because you showed so much love to me and it turned out it wasn't genuine.
Right.
We've been boys for 30 years and you ain't even pick up the phone to call me. That kind of stuff. You my mentor. You my OG. And you acting like I'm air.
That's wild.
Stuff, you know, it doesn't change that. But it helps me put into perspective what is really most important. And me coming on the show today was to help solidify that. Like, I want cats to see I'm okay. I'm here. I'm still standing. I'm not standing on that bull that y'all don't know. Y'all can come off of that. I don't hinder your money and how you make it, but my money was hindered. Like, I know for
lot.
I know for certain there are 2 venues that have been contacted saying not to hire me. I know that for a fact.
Really?
Absolutely. That's sad, man. I used to get, when this first everything happened, man, I was getting hit with videos and screenshots and stuff almost every day. Emails and, man, I don't come unless I'm prepared.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's problematic. Yeah. The DFW Music Awards, there was a whole lot of Freeman-esque on the ballots.
Yeah.
I was asked to be on that board.
Really?
Until I wasn't. I mean, brother, my phone right now. I got to ask.
We here. We can talk about it.
You know, but I mean, I'm glad to see everybody thriving and doing it. But it's like, man, I know my position in this musical community. I know what it is. I know what it was, and I'm okay.
We've also know what you've done.
Yeah, I'm okay with the mark that I've been able to leave. Again, this ain't no woe is me, man. Y'all gonna have to come to terms with y'all feelings. I admonish anybody that has had anything negative to say or had a question thought that I had moved in a way that wasn't up to par. This is your opportunity, man.
Yeah.
Chime in. Speak your heart.
Will you come?
Message me.
Yeah.
You can DM me if you want to keep it private. I'm all for that too. But don't allow another day to go by where you hold something in your heart and you don't even have your facts straight.
Yeah.
It don't have to be that. Marcus Jones, call me.
Let's talk about it.
Call me. Hit me up. We long overdue for a conversation. Call me. That decision to not have you in the Free Man was one for good business. But the day is done. You're a hell of a musician, and it's been a joy to watch you grow in your business. And we can move beyond that moment. And I hope you take me up on the offer, because I mean it from the heart.
Yep. I mean, yeah. I mean.
Time I heard you and you ain't had nothing to say.
Well, now it's also me choosing words wisely, but I mean, at the end of the day, is you get to a point to where it's like, you know, what are we really doing this for? You know what I'm saying? Especially when it get to a point to where we build relationships, and it's like when everything good is good, but now, you know, misunderstandings and like little petty shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's supposed to get in the way of what was supposed to be a genuine relationship. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what sucks. And you know, I mean, even with that, because Marcus is the homie.
Absolutely,
Marcus
man.
is the homie. Had nothing bad to say about Marcus Jones, or you know, whatever. And I'm pretty sure anybody that, if you would have mentioned me personally, except for the one, you know, there's no love lost between me and the owner. But it's like with everybody else, those are the homies. I'm respected by them, and vice versa. But at the same time, it's like it's way too much going on. And like we were saying at the beginning, or we was talking while we was on break, man, it seemed like there's an attack on musicians and artists and stuff like that. And is I would just hate to see, like, especially with everything that you got going on, I would hate to see if God forbid, knock on whatever, God forbid, someone was to have the Gino. Now there's this old outpouring, like there's 30 posts of, oh my God, Gino. It's like, bro, like, go ahead, don't be fake about it. Go ahead, fix it now.
Don't get it, like, seriously, man. It can, because I'm not above
right,
getting it right.
Yeah, even if we have an issue,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It doesn't have to be. And when you're talking about a leader, you know, two leaders not seeing eye to eye affects everyone under all of that leadership.
Absolutely.
And yeah, there is an attack on the arts community because it's creative. When you attack the creativity of someone or something, what happens? You become depressed.
Yeah.
You become down.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Think you're not good enough.
Again,
all that, yeah.
And I'm only speaking as a believer to believers. The devil don't take no off days.
Absolutely.
He worked the third shift late into the night hour. So he doing what he's supposed to do. I just want to be guilty of doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
He's supposed to make us feel down and out and like, yeah, we being attacked. When in fact, we're not living healthy enough to keep ourselves here.
Right.
You got to give God a reason to want to bless you.
Absolutely.
Just being here ain't enough.
Yeah.
Are you living right? Are you adhering to his tenets? Are you at least trying to be a decent human being?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't want the world and not be willing to. It costs.
Right. And you have to know how to be a decent human being outside of the stage. That stage only lasts a couple of hours out of the weekend of your life. You still have a lot of life to live.
You right,
you
Chris.
You know what I'm saying?
You right, YP. You're
Chris, Chris said the Found, in all caps, the Found built the big side of the Free Man.
Yeah.
I mean, truth be told, and I don't, I won't believe anything else because I saw with my own eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll take it further than that, Chris. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. But it's like the Found, just like the Freeman, just like the Freeman is a staple in the music community. The Found is a staple in the sound of the music community.
Oh man, hands down.
You feel what I'm saying?
It set a tone.
It is. It's like
the band set a tone.
Absolutely.
That tons of bands since
absolutely
have followed. Now, I still want to see the Found capitalize on that magic. And it's still very possible. They still can.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they are back in this capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need to be back. They're not a band that needs to be disbanded.
Mm-hmm.
When I was on the show last, and you asked about my 5 top bands,
yeah,
the
Found was one of them.
There's one of them,
yeah, and
they will always be. So I definitely want to see them continue to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see everyone who's working, whether they're at the Freeman or not. Like, I've never called for a boycott of the venue.
Yeah, don't go.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to support me, I just ask that you support me at the level that I've supported you. Whatever that means for you, cool. But to go into your pocket and say, no, don't go there, man, that's idiotic. The Freeman been there way before me.
Right.
And it will be there after me as I'm going on to the next thing.
And they still gonna go to the Freeman.
Yeah.
People still gonna go until they can't no more. Now the level or quality of entertainment they get or experience, that's how it's up to how the new regime is. I pray that they all thrive. But as for me and my house, my ideas and I'm taking a break from all of the building of everything and everyone else.
Right. And
it's all going into me and what I got going on.
And you have to, like whether you're forced to or not. And this is for everybody, man. It's like you have to make sure there is balance in your life. You have to make sure you take some type of time out to set the artist or the artist, the mentor, the person. Sometimes that person has to take a break, and I know it's hard because that's how we thrive.
Yeah.
But sometimes that person has to take a break, and we have to deal with the actual man and or woman or person who haven't figured it out yet. We have to deal with that person, and that's why so many people struggled during the Pan-Seared Salmon, because they got to a point to where they had to deal with themselves.
Yeah.
And it was tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, the noise got taken away.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, shout out to Bo Dove and his new residency from on Tuesdays from 7 to 10. Shout out to D. So yeah, it's definitely great music there. 7 to 10. But yeah, so it's like unfortunately some of us we have to take a step back due to like an illness or something like that. But what I'm saying to most people, you don't have to get to that point. You do have a way of doing that without you being forced to be set out.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? None of us want to be forced to be set down.
Yeah.
At what point in all these years of you being the general manager for Freeman, at what point did you sit there and say, man, like, what's that first? Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm a firm believer in you see signs before it happens. Way before. You can sit there and say, and I'm not saying you, but I'm saying a person can sit there and say all day long, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this coming. They weren't showing these signs before. At what point, what was that first, and you can choose to answer or not answer, what was that first point you saw signs and said, dang, this may not be what I thought it was, and you should have gotten out then?
First time Rebecca cussed you out?
Honestly, when my wife told me and I didn't listen.
I was being funny, but
The one
It's a very hard subject, but I should listen to my wife, and I didn't, and I paid a hefty price for it. Yeah, I should have listened to her on a great multitude of things. I should have trusted my partner, and like I'm not saying like my partner in life, like my business partner. I should have trusted her, and I got myself into some trouble by not listening to my wife.
Wow.
Point blank, period. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I won't make that mistake ever again. I won't make that mistake ever again. Because
I feel that.
I'm blessed that she's still here looking at me.
Ooh, that's a word.
Yeah.
That's real because, ooh, boy, that's real. The fact that you acknowledge that. Because some people, I know people. I'm talking about, I know preachers, I know business people, I know corporate Americans. I know them that they will be so high and mighty and won't admit that I should have listened. They won't admit it.
It's taken a long time. It took a long time for me to get that in private. Right, I don't ever want to be guilty of just saying something in public. Like, I got to say these things in private. And it took me a long time to say that to her in private. Stubborn, hard, just holding on to whatever preconceived notions, dysfunction, whatever excuse you want to try to put on it. But at the end of the day, God gave me a partner. I didn't trust my partner. And I would have been saved a lot of heartache had I trusted my partner.
All I heard was accountability. That's
So,
all I heard.
Tim Sterling said, "I love you, Rebecca. Thank you."
Love you too.
And when you was on the show the previous time, you kind of spoke on how you were new to just accepting the fact that you have a partner. You were new to the idea of I don't have to do this by myself.
Right.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that was a struggle for you at first.
Yeah, man. Matters of the heart and just mismanaging.
Because we're not just talking about mismanaging of business venues and stuff like that. Like it's a part of it is mismanaging home.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something that again, that's why I always like to ask about balance. It's something I'm still learning too. It's like knowing how to take that you being so adamant about the business and being so adamant about wanting to be great and being so adamant about, you know what I'm saying? And it's like knowing how to at least take some of that and be just as adamant about your household.
It's a everyday learning thing too.
Yeah.
Steady growing. But I ain't no fool.
Yeah.
I'm not here without my wife, and we done had our moments. We done not seen eye to eye. We done not seen back to back. Whatever limb you want to name. But I know for a fact that God gave me a partner, and I am really working even more diligently now that I have this time to refocus.
Yeah.
I'm making sure she know that and that I understand that value.
Yeah.
I know it's valuable. I want to understand it even more so I can treat it even better.
That's good.
It's like it's a business model.
Right.
I work daily on when she tell me something, making sure my face don't scrunch up. You know what I'm saying? Simply because I have a bad thing. It's okay, honey.
I like that he's consulting her.
I have a bad thing of where I feel like I have to understand something before I accept it.
Yeah. I feel you on
and
that.
it will kill your house. It will kill any relationship you have. If somebody feels some kind of way, it's enough that they feel some kind of way. Because I want that for me.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And it becomes a double standard when I don't give that to you. But I want it for me.
Yeah.
And she beat me in the head with showing me all the time. And I don't like it. I can't stand it, but
That's balance.
but
Yeah.
it's really growing me in this season because, and it frustrates her, but then it makes her happy on the back end. It's like, why did it take you so long to get to the understanding point? But I'm glad you got it. You
Hey,
know,
man,
it's
you gotta-
like,
you gotta bear with us sometimes.
yeah,
man.
you know, but I'm knowing that I got a strong partner is what's going to help excel to where we go next. First, my health, and then business. My health is first.
Absolutely.
Like getting
if
through this is
if your
first.
health not here, you can't do the business.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta be even as a mentor or OG, a big homie, unk, whatever is like. If that person like this is why I don't mind putting my phone on D&D sometimes. Is like this is why I don't mind. I've accepted my role in life in society as that person who gives. You know, give of myself, but at the same time, if I don't learn how to recharge, I'm not going to be what I need to be for people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's definitely something.
Absolutely,
That's
Tim.
definitely something.
Yeah.
Scroll down. What was said?
Health first, then we get this money.
Yeah, so I got a question, bro.
Right.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Oh, Lou, you're still here.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just here, just taking in everything. That's all. So my question is, I guess, because so much, I didn't realize so much skill you have with when you discussing different things within marketing and all of that, and creating platforms and all that. So, is there any idea? Do you have any future ideas or what you are looking to do? I guess when you recover, or when your health get to a better state. Or?
Oh, absolutely. They're forming. I definitely got to a place of uncertainty about like what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Who is going to hire me? And the first thing I had to do was do away with the thought of who is going to hire me. Why am I worried about who is going to hire me when I possess everything within me to hire myself? I've been doing that for years. So I had to shy away from that. I had my depression moment. I had my not feeling creative moment. But now there are some ideas that are beginning to form. I'm not rushing them. I'm just allowing them to form, writing them down or putting them in my voice notes so that I can do it the Bible way, write the vision, you know,
Make it plain.
and doing better about writing down my ideas. I haven't been that guy in my career. I'm the boom.
I think about it. Let's do it.
Think about it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But my partner is a project manager by trade. I can't lose.
Yeah.
Which helps because she understands what you're doing in the first place.
Exactly. And hey, baby, here's what I'm thinking. She's instantly on the pad, like, okay, and then orchestrating point A to point B, and it just opens up creative veins even more. So I'm looking forward to getting into that process more. Right now, it's just, okay, how long I'm gonna be down? Like, who gonna help with the kids? And how we gonna formulate life until, so, but that creative vein it's starting to come back more,
We gotta go back for a second because there was a question asked we didn't ask. Back to when you was talking about the pretty much the breach of contract.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the question was asked. Because obviously you didn't take the 2,000.
Right.
But the question was asked: do you take the 2,000 or get the lawyers involved? Since technically it was a breach of contract, since the resignation was agreed upon. Like, is this something that's worth taking further?
Man, if I had the legs to do it, yes. But I don't believe in it to even take it that far. I believe that where it's at is where it's at.
I got you. Yeah, I feel that.
Like, I
teach me your ways, Rebecca.
I would love to, kind of, I guess, get whatever's considered my just due. But I'm gonna choose the trust God route on this one.
I got you.
I've gotten a chance where I had my day to speak how I feel, and speak it on a platform where I know it'll reach its intended audience.
Yeah.
Those that were here and those that will listen to it later. It's going to get to
who it need to get to.
who it needs to get to. Some hearts will be pricked. Hopefully, prayerfully, some relationships will be mended. Some perceptions will be changed. But if they don't, I got a chance to speak it. I can totally move on now.
Absolutely, and it don't have to be.
I don't have to, I mean, I don't sit back and think and wallow and, no, I had that day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, am I really going to change John J. Meyer's mind? That's a God thing. That's not a me thing.
Absolutely, especially with people like that.
Yeah, like like if his heart's gonna be changed. Now, mind you, let me be clear on this. I think the cat's a very savvy businessman. He don't get where he is not being one.
Absolutely.
I think there are some other things that he could do that would be more beneficial in dealing with people on a business plane of serious worth, where people don't feel used because they cross paths with you. I feel like there's some things that could be better there, and but as for me, yeah, man, I chase that down. I'm gonna spend more energy and be more stressed out chasing that down,
and more money probably.
Right, than just sitting back and allowing God. God allowed me to do this much. He didn't tell me I could do anything further. Let me say that.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, he didn't tell me to say nothing, do anything further, or I would.
I understand.
I done heard all I need to hear.
Yeah.
I've seen all I need to see.
Yeah.
I feel like I've experienced everything that I was supposed to experience. Okay, now grow.
Grow and move forward.
Yeah.
Man, Lou, what you got?
Man.
I don't even think we need to do segments, man. That was a whole gig tale by itself.
Man, this been this. That's what it's been.
I'm gonna ask you just one thing off the wall that ain't got absolutely nothing to do with what we talk about. Nothing to do with this. This is gonna be a total curveball.
All right.
What's your guilty pleasure in music? Like what's that one form of music that somebody would look at you listen to that? Like mine is banjo music. I don't know what it is about banjo music, but I just love I love it. Okay. I love it. What's your musical guilty pleasure that you listen to but don't really?
Nobody knows.
Selena Gomez.
No,
I'm joking.
Man, I have a strong affinity for folk music.
Okay.
So, what did it for me was I'm a huge James Taylor fan.
Okay.
The writing of Randy Newman, like the Great American Songbook, but Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, I know
George Clooney.
Yeah. So,
Tears of Tears of Sorrow. Yeah, that did it for me. So I love folk music, man.
I feel that. I feel and the pen on those guys. Just have to throw a curveball real quick because
there's an artist his name is T-Tour, and I kind of claim it as our song. But the song is called One and Only Love. And there are only a handful of songs, literally maybe 4 or 5 that I wish I had written in life, and that's one of them.
I got a couple of those too.
It's an incredibly written, simple song. It's so beautiful, man. Yeah. But it's like it's a folk approach. If you're out there listening, T-Tour. T-E-I-T-U-R. It's called One and Only. Incredible song.
James, you might be right. It might be the churchy in me that love the banjo music.
Yeah.
You might be right. Brandon Price said I listen to Tears of Sorrow all the time.
That's the tune.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the one. Man, listen. This Lou. I know I've said this before, but I really mean it this time. I think this is the best episode we've had so far.
Most epic episode, 6-hour episode.
Yeah,
of all
right.
time.
Man, we gotta go. People gotta go to work in the morning.
I cut these out. This is making for the next 3 weeks.
Right. Right. Hey man, listen, DFW Shed Sessions, Gino, we appreciate you so much. Again, and I do this with every guest. We did this the last time you were. We did this the last time you were here, but once again, man, I forever have to give you your flowers. I knew coming into this conversation I had to be unbiased, you know, and stuff like that, and I still am unbiased because me personally, I don't have a dog in none of this fight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a way that people carry themselves. There's a way that people carry themselves. There's a way that people move. And I can honestly say, I'm saying this on the record. I'm saying this for whoever watching. I'm saying for all of my partners and all of the homies and stuff like that that's watching. I'm saying this on the record. Me personally, I have not seen a situation where you seemed shady. You seemed you know, anything outside of doing what you need to do. Because again, I sit in a position to where I understand the position that you had to sit in. And a lot of people don't really understand their position, you know, but I was able to look at it from a different point of view. That being said, man, again, appreciate the contribution that you've made to the community.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the person that you've tried to, you know, the businessman that you've tried to show us to be, you know what I'm saying? Because another thing about you, a lot of things that you try to do it as an example so somebody else can learn from it. And we see that. We appreciate that, man. Appreciate you talking to us, opening up. I'm glad that, you know, we were able to provide a safe place for you, you know what I'm saying, to be able to talk. And anybody else who need to talk, or anybody else who need to, you know what I'm saying, get something off their chest without being messy, you know what I'm saying, it's a safe place or whatever. But once again, we appreciate you. We appreciate your contribution. We appreciate even introducing us to Wifey. Appreciate Wifey for coming through, kicking it with us, whatever.
Yeah.
She almost broke my glass table, but it's all right. we gonna be here. I'm sick of y'all shit. but other than that, man, like we love you. We appreciate you. We see you. We are wishing absolutely nothing but success and good health for you. We want to, you know, mommy asking, how old are you now?
48.
You 48. So so 48. So at 88, we want to see you playing with your grandkids.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying, seeing them walk across the stage when they graduate high school and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So we want to see that from you, and we're definitely rooting for you. I definitely did not take this as a woe is me moment. I don't have sympathy for most people. If you want my sympathy, you can look in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. That's where you will find my sympathy.
All right.
For most people, you know what I'm saying. But now, man, we just appreciate you for coming on, chopping it up with us, man. Once again, DFW Shed Sessions. If y'all want to contribute, help donate, our Zelle is tagged or whatever. And also, you've seen the love that you've gotten from the community, man. The genuine love that you've gotten for people, regardless to
my daughter,
regardless to her say. Yeah.
Hey, Majesty, I love you.
Majesty, the daughter came in.
Thank you.
Who named her?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, was you?
Well,
Okay.
no, actually, Majesty's Badu named Majesty.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. The boy needs to come on the podcast so we can talk about gummies flagrant way. I agree. We gonna get the board on. But now, man,
No,
but
we're not.
yes, we are. Yes, we are. But hey, listen, love you, Dad. Oh, that's so sweet.
I love you too.
That's so sweet. But listen, DFW Shed Sessions, like, share, subscribe. Like I said, if y'all want to donate, our Zelle is pinned. And yeah, I think that's about all we got. We all good? We all good? Did you get everything off your chest?
Man, I did. I appreciate y'all again. Anybody, man, you got something on your heart,
Give him a call.
holler at me. Like, seriously. And I wish everyone that is doing something creative, I wish you well wherever you do it.
Yeah.
You know? And man, to the Freeman as an institution, thank you. I did learn a lot. Good and bad. So you gotta learn how to do stuff and how not to do it. And I definitely take that away from the place, you know, so I can leave with my hands clean. It served its purpose in my life.
Already, man. Well, our minds clear. With that being said, this is DFW.
Do you have to?
Huh?
Do you have to?
Oh, wait. Oh, man. Because my mama's here.
Oh.
Yes, Mama,
Okay.
you were in on that. Yes, you were, in name of majesty. But it's my mama's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Officially. Happy birthday.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because we way past time.
I love you, Mama. Thank you. I thank you for
Tim, we got to get you on
sharing
too,
me with the
homie.
world. I love you, Mama, so, so much. Thank you.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Well, with that
His
being
mother is
said,
on here, so.
his mother's on the line?
Yeah, so
Okay,
don't
happy,
be
happy,
disrespectful.
no disrespect intended to his mother. What's so happy birthday, beautiful lady. Thank you for sharing him with us. And remember,
That's gonna be so
awkward. It ain't gonna suck itself.
God.
We'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good night.
Hey-o. Happy birthday, Mama.
Hey, dog, he said he ain't